Beautiful Texans, welcome to the James Show on News Talk 820 WBAP. Now on FM at 93.3. Happy Friday. Let's go. There it is. All right, now I got all my bells and whistles. All right, we're going to do a lot of fun stuff on the back end of the show. We're going to take care of business on the front end of the show. This is a mullet edition of the James Show. A lot of Fridays are mullet editions. Actually, it's the reverse mullet. No, business up front, party in the back. No, I have it right. It was don't second guess yourself, James. But first, to help us take care of business, Raven Harrison's back on the show, ravenharrison.com. And I am enjoying this election cycle. There's finally some stuff to talk about. You know, I've griped that it's been boring before, Raven, because usually there's some sort of primary action on either side of the aisle. And this is the first time in our lifetime that there's not really been a primary for either side. So the new monkey wrench is being thrown in, and this one is RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Jr. He will not go away, and he's starting to be a problem.
Oh yes, he's definitely under the Democrat skin, and I think that's by design. So he has chosen a very far left Soros-funded vice president. Who we'll assume it's not because she's exceedingly rich, it's because she's just really progressive and far left, but it is completely blowing up the base. I mean, the hope was the Democrats were going to pull in those voters that wanted RFK, but he seems to be kind of putting a little bit of a ticking time bomb under the Democrat platform.
Well, tell me about his vice presidential pick. I know nothing about Nicole Shanahan.
Well, Nicole Shanahan she has ties from her marriages to Google and other high-end entities. She is of Asian American descent. She is a far progressive who's been very, very critical of President Trump. She is heavily funded, very rich, and very anti-Trump. So she is who RFK has chosen to be his running mate, and the response has been pretty poor. No pun intended.
So I'm under the impression that she was with one of the two guys that started Google. I think it was Sergey Brin. I imagine there was a divorce in there, and she walked away with maybe billions. So that's an attractive thing to have in an independent candidate race, though. That having billions matters.
Well, having billions matters, but having a platform and being appealing to the moderates and the independents is even better. And the independents are not welcoming her. It feels like these people are actually referring to her as further left than Biden. So if, his VP is further left than Biden, then why not vote for Biden if that's where people are? So it's being hailed as a very horrible choice for somebody who could have. And she is deeply funded, Soros funded. So that's what you're kind of looking at. RFK is still trying to appeal to the midsection while he's brought in a far left VP. But, somebody's got to bankroll everything.
Yeah, well, Raven Harrison, I get the feeling that they were trying to ignore him for as long as they could in the hopes that he wouldn't catch on. But now his support is not statistically insignificant. And where is he getting this support from? Is it more from Team Red or Team Blue?
Well, prior to his selection of VP, he was getting a little bit more from Team Red and from the progressives on the fringe of the Democratic base. But now it appears that he is alienating both. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do. But right now, with this pick, it would push him back left.
Who should he have picked? If it had been up to me, I would have told him to pick Joe Rogan or something like that.
Yes, and a lot of people were hoping for Tulsi Gabbard. Just thought it made a lot more sense in terms of her position and experience. That is another thing that they're getting Nicole Shanahan on is no experience. So they are really just kind of saying, why didn't you pick somebody who could pull more traffic in and more momentum in like Tulsi Gabbard? And I honestly think that would have been a better pick for him.
Any chance he gets into the presidential debates?
I think anything's possible, but I think it's unlikely.
So where do they go from here? They just spend as much of her money as possible and maybe try and get some sort of concession for dropping out?
Well, what he's going to do now seems to be a consolidation tour where he's running around trying to explain to people that this is not the worst, horrible pick that could have been made in the history of the universe, and then try to soften that so he can decide he's going to let court him for that 22% that was in the independent pot. It has dropped since his VP pick, but still up for grabs and still necessary for both sides to get across the 50% mark.
Does this have an effect on who Trump is going to pick for vice president?
I don't think so. I think that Trump's strategy has always been the same. I think he's always been a masterful chess player with this. I've been always saying he plays chess while everybody else is playing checkers. So I don't think that this is going to be a very thought out and strategic move by Trump, and I don't think it has anything to do with RFK's pick.
Does this Nicole lady share RFK's views on, he's been critical of vaccines and the scientific community and the lockdowns and ivermectin critics? Does she share those views?
No, she does not. And if you're looking through her past social media and what she said, the only thing that she has seemed to be united is not wanting Trump. Everything else is very far left. It's very pro-vaccine, pro-mandates, pro-removing constitutional freedoms, anti-gun, just down the line, whatever the Constitution stands for, she appears to be on the other side of it.
People like that, they might have a trail of criticizing him in the past. Is there anything on the record that she said about him before that we know of, or have we not gone that far?
Oh, on President Trump?
No, on RFK.
Oh, I don't think we've turned up anything yet where she's been openly critical of him, but her policies and basically the circle she's run in have shown that she's not a fan of any of these mid or uniting principles. She is completely pro-communism, we should have a vote, but you shouldn't. We should have guns, but you shouldn't.
Well, Raven Harrison, I know what I'm going to be Googling on the break here. Thank you very much for your time. Go to ravenharrison.com to get more of her. Thank you, Raven.
Thank you.
She's great. All right, coming up, I'll let you know what happens when I pull up the Google on if there's any criticism of her in the past of RFK. And then we'll talk about this inflation report. You turn on one channel, they're like, wow, this is horrible. You turn on this other channel, like, see, I told you things are going great. What's the truth? We'll talk about it next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Well, it's finally almost here, but are you ready for the big solar eclipse? Monday at 7:17, we'll hear from an expert who has eye-saving info about taking pictures with your phone.
And Monday at 8:47, live in studio, Jason's of Beverly Hills, the man behind the grand plan for those incredible and ultra-dazzling Texas Rangers World Championship rings.
I'm Ernie Brown.
And I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton has your forecast. Steve Lamb, sports, and Nicole Osei with your news updates at the top and bottom of the hour, along with your money news. And Hal J brings the laughs.
It's all on Monday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Will Height Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willheightwins.com.
Hello, Patriots. Have you got rotten egg-smelling water? Who can stand it? That's hydrogen sulfide. Nations Pure has a solution that makes that stink go away. And we mean right now. Gone. In fact, we money-back guarantee that the H2S smell is gone before we leave your driveway. But stinky water isn't the only chemistry going on in many well waters. We do it all, including addressing the safety and purity of your water. And we don't leave out that white chalky stuff you see on your faucets, fixtures, bathroom walls, and places too numerous to mention. Wonderful water all begins with a free, yes free, on-site water test. My name is Cara, and I will personally schedule your water test. Call Nations Pure at 888-763-0050. That's 888-763-0050. Or go online to nationspure.com and let's talk about your water solutions.
So you've got an unused car taking up space and costing you money and insurance. Solve your problem. Donate your car today to Junk for Joy. I just can't help singing that jingle. It's stuck in my head and will be stuck in your head too until you donate. Junk for Joy will take any car in any condition, and they make it really easy and convenient. You'll even get a vacation voucher and tax deduction. Visit junkforjoy.org today or call 877-JUNK-FOR-JOY to donate.
Neil Sperry here from my friends at Brookside Associates in Plano. If you've been on 121 Sam Rayburn, You've seen them between Coit and Independence. Cataract removal, LASIK, custom lens replacement surgeries, they do it all. And their advanced technology lenses provide customized clear vision. Their doctors help thousands of people each year from all over the world regain crisp, clear vision. Let them help you see life vividly again. Brooks Eye Associates, brooksimd.com.
There are products that offer up to a 20% upfront bonus just for opening an account and up to 12% per year for retirement income. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I've heard from other advisors saying this is too good to be true. No, it's not. We are one of the few who can offer products like these because we're independent. We're not registered with a broker-dealer who tells us what we have to sell, and we don't have to answer to a board of directors who prioritize shareholders over clients. So, is an upfront bonus up to 20% and 12% per year growth for income too good to be true? For most advisors, yes, but not Trajan Wealth. The fact that many of our clients come from other financial advisors is a testament to our value. Experience the Trajan Wealth difference for yourself. Call 469-579-3500. 469-579-3500.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Brought to you by the University of North Texas Health Science Center at Fort Worth.
Caring for the whole person means more than treating their immediate symptoms. It means empowering people to participate in their care and creating a place where they can thrive. HSC Fort Worth is leading the way in promoting whole health in North Texas. Go to unthsc.edu/whole health.
We had a crash clear up in Fort Worth from northbound 35W at 121, but there's still some heavy traffic heading into downtown. Give yourself about 10 extra minutes back from Morningside Drive. They also cleared a crash heading into Fort Worth on 20 westbound just before 287. Still about 5 to 10 minutes of delay unwinding there from Park Springs. Also in Arlington, there's a disabled vehicle on 20 eastbound at Collins Street. It's been moved over to the left shoulder, but still use some extra caution as you approach. And in Frisco, your left lane is closed down on the southbound Alice North Tollway at Lebanon Road. That's adding about 5 to 10 minutes of delay from Main Street. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Explore hundreds of Easter deals and delights at Whole Foods Market now through April 2nd. Save on animal welfare certified meats, organic produce, irresistible ready-to-eat sides, and more. Shop in-store or online with your Prime membership today.
Stimulating talk. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Happy Friday. It's almost the weekend. So also, just remember that this weekend, for all my Christian brothers and sisters, that happy Easter. If you're an atheist, I'm saying it to you too. You're just going to have to deal with it. If you're from some other religion, I'll say it to you too, but don't take it personal. Just don't know an alternative to say. Sorry to get all religious on you there. Oh, hey, I wanted to thank all the people out with Texas Live and the all the fans that stopped by and the people from the other stations. And by other stations, I mean our country stations and the ticket. It was cool to get to hang out with them on Rangers opening day. I had a question. I don't know why you people asked me this. Someone asked me, when do the Rangers get their rings? And I think they were asking about last night. They don't actually get them until, I think, tomorrow. There's another thing going, like pregame ceremony tomorrow at 5:20, if I remember correctly. So you did not miss it, I think is the headline for that guy asking the question. All right, one of the other headlines, inflation, still a problem. Yeah, that is kind of new news. But the Commerce Department, they have some new numbers that come out from time to time, and one of them is the PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. That went up 2.5%. Another measure has inflation at 2.9% if you take out the energy and food. And so it's not down where they would like for it to be. Now, I think in an ideal world, inflation should be where? 0. But the Fed even has, they say themselves, their mandate, their goal is a 2% inflation rate, which that's a bummer. The 2%, no one's ever mathematically explained to me why this is the magic number, the 2% that you need. Now, cynical James can look at that and be like, okay, well, politically speaking, 2% is about the amount of money that you can steal from someone every year without them griping about it or really even noticing enough to put up an effort, to put up a fuss. Because if you found out a guy had hacked your bank and he took all your money, you would do something about it immediately. If some guy had hacked your bank and he took 2 cents out of it, less motivation. You might still, be upset or whatever, but you're not going to be as on it as you would be if it was a higher percentage. So that let's just go with the cynical James position there. They're about right. 2% is about the level that they can get away with before the American people start going, hey, this is terrible. This is awful. The prices are going up. I can't afford anything. What the heck's going on? So we're in that territory. We're in the territory where it's about 3%, and which means, that's a pretty small window to work with, 0 to 2%. So if you're at 3%, then you're overshooting your goal by 50%. You are 150% of where you want to be. So that's a pretty big miss, even though nominally speaking, it's 1%. And that sounds like a small fraction there. But the pain is felt, and it's not going away. It doesn't matter what the Fed does. There's only so much they can do. There's only so much they can raise the rates when you still have an over $1 trillion deficit, closer to $2 trillion in deficit spending every year. That money has to be printed. That money has to be monetized. Even if we did go out and didn't monetize it and we bought war bonds or whatever we had to do, it would still go into the money supply, and the Fed can only sop up so much of it with toying with the interest rate, which is not supposed to be a tool. It's not supposed to be a function to facilitate your deficit spending, but that's what it's turned into. And so the people who watch such things were anticipating rate cuts to start this year. They haven't, but let cynical, political, negative old man Winter James tell you what's really going to happen. The federal funds rate will be cut before the election. You can just mark that down. You can write it down on a piece of paper and put it on your dashboard. You tape it to your forehead. You can put it on the back of your sun visor or something. But if you're looking at this not from an economic point of view, not from a policy point of view, not from what do the numbers say I should do, but if you look at it as a political animal, the powers that be would probably prefer for you to go to the ballot box in November in the midst of an economic sugar high. And of course, you're going to pay for that later. Inflation is going to ramp up even harder and is going to burn even harder. So they can't do it too soon because they don't want the sugar high to wear off before you get to the ballot box. But it will be cut. So what does that mean in the meantime? Well, it means a couple things. Number one, your credit cards are still going to be super expensive. Mortgages are still going to be, they're about average of where they are historically. It just feels expensive because they were so cheap for a long time. But these things will go down eventually, somewhat, maybe not back to the historic levels that they were previously. But it also means the more important thing is this inflation is not going to stop. When they told you it was transitory, they didn't mean transitory. They meant permanent. We're going to go back in the time machine here. Come on, I brought the DeLorean. Sean's got some plutonium. I had to borrow some plutonium from Sean. So embarrassing. But we're going to go back to 1978. And there's a cold open in the Saturday Night Live where Dan Aykroyd is playing Jimmy Carter. And they were talking about the same thing. And are we not going through the exact same problems now in 2024?
Inflation is our friend. For example, consider this. In the year 2000, if current trends continue, the average blue-collar annual wage in this country will be $568,000. Think what this inflated world of the future will mean. Most Americans will be millionaires. Everyone will feel like a big shot. Wouldn't you like to own a $4,000 suit and smoke a $75 cigar, drive a $600,000 car? I know I would. But what about people on fixed incomes? They have always been the true victims of inflation. That's why I will present to Congress the Inflation Maintenance Program, whereby the U.S. Treasury will make up any inflation-caused losses through direct tax rebates to the public in cash. Now, you may say, won't that cost a lot of money? Won't that increase the deficit? Sure it will. But so what? We'll just print more money. We have the papers, we have the mints. I can just call up the Bureau of Engraving and say, hi, This is Jimmy. Roll off some of them 20s. Print up a couple of thousand sheets of those century notes. Sure, the glut of dollars will cause even more inflation, but who cares? Everybody will be a millionaire.
Jimmy Carter still rings true today. Funny because he talked about the wildly inflated prices of a home and a car and a suit and a cigar, and really we're about halfway there to those numbers. You know, what's the median cost of a house? He said, what, $600,000 or something to that effect? Bro, we're about halfway there. And he mentioned the price of a car and the household income would be $500 and something thousand. Well, check this out. That was made in 1978. And he talked about having how much was the car? Ridiculous price of a car. In 1978, the average cost of a new car, $5,780. Nice. Don't get too excited though. The average household income, or the median household income, $55,700. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's the median price of a home, $55,700. Yeah, that did sound kind of high when I said it the second time. No, the median income, $15,060. So yeah, inflation is here to stay, and until we balance the budget or get either party just pretending for 5 seconds to care about balancing the budget, expect it to be here. Prices are going to go up. They're going to go up really fast, faster than your income, until you put a stop to this. Or, hey, don't listen to me. Just love inflation. Because like Jimmy Cotta said, inflation's great. Isn't it wonderful? This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use. About travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Ernie Brown here. You know, I'm no expert on home design. I just know I like a good, comfortable, big shower, someplace where I can take my time to wake up and clean up. That's where Statewide Remodeling comes in. Now, why Statewide? Well, after 30 years in business and thousands of satisfied customers, Statewide is now the exclusive North Texas distributor for Kohler Luckstone products, top of the line. And on a bathroom remodel, you want to do it right. Get rid of the moldy grout lines, the broken and faded tiles, the old tub and shower. Let Statewide Remodeling show you some home bath designs that will give you the private retreat you've always wanted. Take advantage now. It's the slow time of year, and to keep the crews busy, you get free installation for a limited time. Plus, just for having Statewide Remodeling come out, the first 25 callers get a $50 Target gift card. North Texas' oldest and best bathroom remodeler is Statewide Remodeling. Give them a call before they get really busy. 214-214-6000. That's 214-214-6000. And schedule that free consultation or go online at statewideremodeling.com.
Let's listen in on a modern-day marriage proposal. The players lit their smartphones. The young man pledges his true love to the woman of his dreams. She accepts. They exchange kissing emojis. There are some hearts. Very nice. Well, look at this. He's putting his phone down. I don't believe it. He's got a box from Diamonds Direct. Well, now she puts her phone down. Oh, unbelievable. That, folks, shows how special a diamond from Diamonds Direct is. 2 people have put their phones down. He slips the Diamonds Direct diamond on her finger. She kisses him. Human contact, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew a Diamonds Direct diamond was capable of revolutionizing the virtual universe? And look at this. Her phone is ringing and she's still looking at her Diamonds Direct diamond. Oh, what's next? Tweets from actual birds? Amazing things really do happen when you give her a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Come in today and see how we can help you download real emotion. Details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Your love, our passion.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
The Wilhite Law Firm handles accident cases differently. If you're injured, we'll drive to your home. We'll return every call and keep you updated. We win big for our clients. Texas-sized settlements big. Get your free case review at willhitewins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
More evidence of migrant crime in the United States. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have about a 5 to 10 minute construction slowdown in Frisco on the southbound Dallas North Tollway. They've closed down the left lane at Lebanon Road. Your stop and go back from Main Street. Arlington, there's a disabled vehicle 20 eastbound at Collins over on the left shoulder, and on 20 westbound heading into Fort Worth. You still have about a 5 to 10 minute unwinding delay because of a crash that was cleared just before 287. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? Who else has 63 acres with massive savings? New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Why go anywhere else? Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Find new roads.
The WBAP forecast, mostly sunny and breezy this afternoon, a high in the upper 70s. It is 77 in Dallas, 76 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Migrant crime continues to cause major headaches for law enforcement in the U.S.
A gang member was among 10 migrants taken into custody this week in the El Paso Border Patrol sector when agents busted a stash house. Officials say the man had previously been in the U.S. and had been convicted of raping a child in Kansas. In Kinney County, Texas, a DPS trooper this week conducting a traffic stop discovered a migrant and her 2-year-old child inside the vehicle. The driver and passenger, both Texas residents, were arrested for smuggling. On Thursday, DPS also came across 11 unaccompanied minors who'd illegally crossed in Eagle Pass, Texas, and were traveling alone from Honduras. Police say the kids were 15 and 16 years old. In El Paso, Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Your Money News, Kaufman County Judge Jackie Allen is explaining his county's decision to issue a disaster declaration ahead of the April 8th total solar eclipse.
Well, we're trying to prepare to be ready as much as we can, and if the governor issues a disaster declaration, then that would open the doors for us, hopefully, to get some resources and reimbursements back from the state for costs involved that normally we would be all on our own.
The county is expecting more than double the number of visitors than residents who live in the county. A number of rural areas in North Texas are preparing for big crowds as the region is in the path of totality. Kaufman and surrounding counties do, though, expect a big economic impact. Again, the high today around 77. It is 77 in Dallas, 76 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
I'm not sure where to start on this Good Friday when it comes to the wide world of sports going into the weekend. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. A lot of you talking about that Texas Rangers season opener last night at Globe Life Field where they rallied to beat the Chicago Cubs. Two teams are idle today, continue the series Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Coming up in a few hours at the American Airlines Center, the men's NCAA basketball tournament. The Marquette Golden Eagles on the court against the North Carolina State Wolfpack, followed by the Houston Cougars and Duke Blue Devils. Also on the hardwood from St. Joseph's, Missouri, you've got the Pioneers from Texas Women's University. They're playing for the NCAA Women's Division II National Championship. And the Dallas Mavericks are playing the Kings again tonight in Sacramento. Dallas remains in 6th place in the West with only 10 games left in the regular season. And a new season begins in a new league Saturday, the UFL, the United Football League, combining the XFL and the USFL, where the Arlington Renegades will host the Birmingham Stallions Saturday at noon at Choctaw Stadium. That's your check on sports. I'm Steve Lamb.
Real life, real news.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
How you doing? It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Welcome to the big show. Hey, stay put. Coming up 1 hour from now, someone has a chance to win. Did I hear Jordan Peterson tickets? We got those back. We're going to try and give those away because I think I tried to give them away before and it didn't work. And there's no guarantee it's going to work this time. And look, that's the good part about listening to bits on the James Show. They don't always work. And if they're going to fail, I let them fail. I let them fall on their face right here in front of God and everybody and 60,000 people who, however many are listening. So stick around for that. If you do want Jordan Peterson tickets, and you are amazing at naming the artists of pop songs from, looks like the 80s and the early 90s is on the list here. Magic could happen. Your moment to shine is coming up in about an hour. And I'll play the montage of songs in the segment before, so you'll have an idea of, okay, yeah, I do know all those songs, and I do want to go see Jordan Peterson, and I can take off on, was it April 15th? Yeah, stick around. Details coming up on all that. But now that I got you caught up on the inflation front, the other thing that's going on is the border. And there's a couple of interesting things that have happened with the border. For one thing, it has showed up in this election cycle as the number one issue. It's kind of blows me away because it's almost always the economy or something economic, inflation or unemployment or something to have to do with your money. Not saying illegal immigration doesn't have anything to do with your money, but it's the number one issue. Joe Biden's not doing very well in that issue. He polls terribly in that issue. So what have they tried to do? Well, in order to deflect blame away from Biden to Trump, they've attempted to throw up a bill that the Republicans would hate. It didn't pass, and so now they're blaming it on the Republicans. I bring you Morning Joe Scarborough, the morning show on MSNBC. He is holding up a shot of the New York Post, and it's talking about an onslaught and showing the people rushing the border, that big group in that viral video from last week where they stormed the fence and got all the way to the big metal gate, rolled over a couple of our guardsmen at the time. Well, there's a still shot of that, and there's a headline, onslaught. And they've got to fight this off. This is how you know this isn't a news show. This is political activists masquerading as journalists, doing what they can to help out Team Blue. They're trying to turn this around.
If I were a Democrat running for office, I would do this. I would be carrying this around all day. Look at what the Republicans are doing to you. Look what Donald Trump's doing to you. I would carry this around because see this onslaught headline? The only thing the Post didn't tell you is Donald Trump said, blame me for this. Donald Trump said, kill the bill and blame me for everything that happens after this point. Donald Trump said, blame me. So yes, Donald, we are blaming you.
Hang on a second. I don't think he said all that. He said, blame me if the bill fails, but if it was a terrible bill, all this criticism presupposes that the bill would have shut the border, which would have been amazing because we didn't need a bill to open the border up. It was all executive orders. So can't he just go sign those executive orders and turn them back on, the 90 whatever that he did in the first couple of days? No, we had to do this bill? Huh, that's so weird. Anyway, he's really upset about this, but you can see what he's trying to do. Oh, yeah, you're upset about the border? You're right. That's Trump's fault. That's a ticket. That old open border guy, Trump, you know how he loves open borders. It's not like we didn't just see him campaign on a wall for the last 8 years.
We're blaming Mini-Me Mike Johnson for following your orders We're blaming Republicans who begged for a tough border bill, but like the Wall Street Journal editorial page said, couldn't take yes for an answer. So yes, there is an onslaught in the southern border still. And it's all Donald Trump's fault. You know who says that? Donald Trump. Donald Trump says blame him for this.
Yeah, so when Donald Trump was in office, the border wasn't being overrun like it is now. Biden's in office, changes the rules. Now the border's being overrun, but it's Trump's fault. We go to the blonde Kamala to see. She is the border czar. Kamala Harris is the one that was put in charge of fixing the whole border situation a few years ago. And she's tired of people asking her about it. But I just want to restate that this is the fake Kamala Harris. This is blonde Kamala.
I don't understand why people are constantly asking me, have I been to on the border? I have been to on the border many times. Okay? What is the problem that you're all making here?
They're asking if you've been to the border.
What?
To the border.
Well, listen, on the border, how am I to know the difference? I don't know.
I love that woman and I hate her at the same time. Coming up next on the James Show, you're going to hear from Julie Balke from the Balke Group. And for you who were getting a big promotion and then you didn't get a big raise, kind of shocked, aren't you? It's called a dry promotion. We'll talk about this new trend coming up next on the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Hello, my children. Mother Nature here. Springtime. Everything in bloom. Which means for me, headaches, cramps, and bloating. Which means lightning, wind, rain, and severe weather for you. Oh, take it from Mother Nature, dear. For the most dependable forecast this spring, stay connected with your severe weather station.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Summit Racing has the parts you need to keep your truck rolling right. From custom grills to tonneau covers and everything in between. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends April 14th, 2024.
When divorce is inevitable, you need an experienced and assertive family law attorney from the law firm of Bailey & Gallion to protect your rights. The emotions that come with a marital breakup can make it difficult to objectively determine what's in your best interest. You want proven family law attorneys to help you make the right decisions about custody, visitation, support, and property distribution. The law firm of Bailey & Gallion will help you protect your vital interests. Call now for a free initial consultation with a family law attorney near you. Call 800-LAW-OFFICE. Bailey & Gallion has offices in the DFW Metroplex and throughout the state of Texas, and a newly opened office at the Legal Cafe across from the historic Fort Worth Courthouse on Main Street. Call 800-LAW-OFFICE or visit our website at thetexasattorney.com. Thetexasattorney.com. Let Bailey & Gallion, the official law firm of the world champion Texas Rangers, solve your legal puzzle. Call 800-LAW-OFFICE, 800-LAW-OFFICE, or thetexasattorney.com.
Here's automotive expert and nationally syndicated talk show host, Jerry Reynolds.
Ford Truck Month ends soon at the Ford DFW 5-star Ford dealerships, and nobody does Truck Month like Sam Pack. If you've waited on the best time to get that new pickup, now is the time, but Truck Month only comes once a year, and it ends on April 2nd. Get the super low rate of 1.9% APR for a full 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on all 2023 F-150s except Raptor and Trimmer with approved credit through FMCC, and you get a pair of Lucchese boots. SUV lovers 2023 Bronco Sports and Escapes have 0% for $60 plus $1,000, and 2023 Explorer has 1.9 for $60 plus $1,750. It absolutely ends April 2nd, so rush to 5-star Ford in Carrollton, North Richland Hills, Louisville, or Dallas. SamPack.com.
We're taking care of business.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. They're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because Rhino Shield is backed by a 25-year warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick. Call now for your free estimate. 844-RHINO-28. That's 844-RHINO-28. Or visit RhinoShieldTX.com. That's RhinoShieldTX.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
RhinoShieldTX.com.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Brought to you by Men's Edge Medical. Men's Edge Medical right here in Dallas is dedicated to helping you get your edge back. You'll love their patient-friendly atmosphere. Don't continue to suffer from ED and premature stamina. Always be ready to spend a little unexpected extra time with your partner. Call 972-996-0900.
We had a new disabled vehicle pop up in Tarrant County, 20 eastbound, a little bit after Forest Hill Drive. They got it cleared relatively quickly, but there's still about a 10 to 12 minute delay unwinding from Oak Grove. We have that construction still going on in Frisco, southbound Dallas North Tollway at Lebanon Road. They've closed down the left lane. That's adding about 10 to 15 minutes of extra stop and go back from Main Street. And then stepping off the highway in Dallas, we have reports of a crash on Mountain Creek Parkway just south of Camp Wisdom near the intersection with Fox Creek Trail. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by the Common Sense Investing Show with Victor McClure.
Tune in to the Common Sense Investing Show with Victor McClure, now heard every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WBAP. Learn how to have a stress-free retirement and get great insights into the market. For more information or to hear an old show, go to ilovemyretirement.com.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Happy Friday. You know, you go in, you work all week, try and prove your worth in the office or wherever you're at. And after a few years, you go in, you think you've earned it. You think you've earned a raise. And what do? You get a promotion, but you don't get any money with it. Did you really get a promotion, or did you just get a change of title? It's called a dry promotion. My next guest, Julie Balke, who's a career coach. Have you been seeing this? I saw a report that this is on the uptrend, but it feels like something that this has always been around. Is this new? Is this picking up steam, Julie?
It is, but let me add to that. So not only promotions being offered without a salary increase, but I've talked to so many people this year who have gotten really outstanding performance appraisals, like the best rating they could possibly get, and it came with no increase. And so this tightening up of the salary budget is everywhere, and it is. What's so hard about this is you've got people who are working hard, doing good work, and because of all the layoffs, most people are doing more work than what they signed up for. And so when 1,000 people get laid off, those 1,000 work, that 1,000 buckets of work don't go away. They generally have to be absorbed by someone else. So people are doing more, they're doing it for less, and they're not getting rewarded for it. And so we've got an issue because on top of that, all these people who are affected by this, who are nodding along saying, yeah, that's me, I'm guessing that most of them are also aware that the highest level people in their organization are still raking in some pretty nice bonuses. And so it feels really like, wait a minute, we're the ones doing the work, we're doing a lot of work, and we're not getting rewarded, but apparently there is money in the salary budget for big raises and promotions, bonuses for the upper level. And so all it does is deepen that disconnect between the organization and the leaders of the organization and the people, the individual contributors.
This reminds me of an episode of Cheers where Woody decides that he's going to go ask for a raise from Rebecca. He finally works up the courage, goes in the office, comes out all smiling, and they said, "Oh, looks like you got a raise." He goes, "No, but you are looking at the new senior bartender."
I didn't see that one, but exactly.
Well,
yeah.
Is this something I have a feeling this may be something that has always been going on at every business, all the way back to a blacksmith in medieval times, trying to short his apprentice. We just have the ability to talk about it more and share it more and see other people's stories on social media. And, this is sort of a negativity bias where we don't necessarily want it to be true, but we're on the lookout for it.
Yeah, and you're right. When people get nice raises and promotions, you don't see that side. And so this is, again, though, because people are now talking about the way they're being treated at work. I don't know if you saw that video that went viral. It was a TikTok of a young lady who videotaped herself getting laid off. And it was done poorly, and it just caused all kinds of problems for the company. And so literally, especially the youngest generations, they're transparent about everything, about their salary, about the fact, did they get a raise with their promotion? Where in the past, employers could sort of keep it hidden because people weren't talking. It was not considered okay to talk about this stuff, but the younger generations are changing that. And so it's harder to hide things like this. And that's where I think employers are really going to get bit in the butt, because people look at this and say, okay, not getting a raise. You're giving me more work and not a raise. Thank you. Now, the other side of this, there's another side of this. If you get an offer for a promotion, for more opportunity, to do more things, but you're not given an increase with it, you have to look at the big picture. What is the opportunity? Does it align with your career goals? Are you going to learn something that is really going to help your career? So what are the upsides? The fact you didn't get money, that's clearly in the negative column. But what could you learn from this, and how do you feel about that? If it helps you move toward your career goals, then it might be worth it to take it on for a year or two. And then if you don't see any reward for the good work that you hopefully do, then it might be time to move on. But you have to consider all of those factors.
Well, a couple of things to add to that. Not saying you're wrong here. You're a career coach. I'm not going to argue with you. But first, I've worked in radio for 20-something years, so I am a master. I am so good. Got my technique down and everything about getting laid off. It has happened so many times in so many towns that it just takes a little bit of practice. You get used to it. The other part is I kind of like seeing some of my colleagues in, whether it's radio or in other businesses, trading. Instead of getting a monetary raise, you get some sort of lifestyle concession, like the ability to work from home, or at least work from home 2 days a week. And I have found that's almost as valuable as money.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, it really, you have to look at what's most important to you. And so you go to whoever your manager is and you say, okay, I understand you want me to take this on. You want me to learn this stuff. This is great. I'm interested in learning this stuff. And you're not able to give me a raise right now. So first of all, you don't necessarily have to accept no for an answer. You could go back and make a business case for getting some sort of increase, or revisit the conversation in 6 months, let's say. But also take a look. What is most valuable to you? Is it flexibility? Is it time off? Is it the ability to, maybe it's a new piece of equipment you'd like to have? Those come out of different budgets. And so how could the pot be sweetened with something besides money? So yes, yeah, and that's what people are really interested in these days, and it's really being driven by millennials and Gen X, is flexibility. That's the new F-bomb at work. It's flexibility.
All right, well, here's the real gun to your head ultimatum. At what point do you jump ship? You get a dry promotion. You're like, well, I guess I'm done here. I need to start looking for other ships to jump on.
Yeah, if you look around and say, is this an organization that I could see myself being with in the long term? Do I have respect to their values, the leadership, the work we do? And, is it a pretty good work situation otherwise?
Okay, wait, but Julie, sorry to interrupt, but my default switch is, you know what, just bail. Just bail. Find another, if you're not happy, Stop griping to me about it. Do something about it. Jump. You'll find something else. You're not going to sit there and you're not going to starve under a bridge. You'll find something. If you're that much in doubt, bail.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you look around and say, I don't see a future here. I don't think this is a great place for me long term. Always be ready. One of my favorite sayings around this is be ready to stay and be ready to go. So your resume, your LinkedIn profile, you should have some vision for what you want to do next. That should always be ready, because you could be really happy one day and the next day you get a new leader and you go, yep, this isn't going to work.
Everybody laid off.
Yeah, you have to consider, yeah. And, sometimes maybe you've asked to be laid off. You said you figured it out. And sometimes we ask to be put on the layoff list because we know severance comes with that.
Yeah, well, sometimes you show up and the doors are locked. All right, Julie, I'm out of time here. This is Julie Bauke. Right. She's a career coach. You can find her at the Bauke Group, BAUKE, thebaukegroup.com. Thank you, Julie. All right, coming up next on The James Show, we're going to play America's favorite new game, Where in the World is P. Diddler? Coming up next on The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 469-579-3500. 469-579-3500.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I work for the New York City Fire Department. I've been using Balance of Nature for 8 years, I believe. It's been phenomenal. And I just got retired after 33 years. I work long hours, a lot of overtime. I teach at the Fire Academy. I run with the mornings. I work out all the time. And your product has been so successful for me in my regiment. I have nothing but high praise for you guys.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code DALLAS.
I'm at Genesis of Plano, part of the Huffines Auto family, with longtime customer Anna Portillo. Quick question, Anna. Can you sing the jingle for us?
Huffines has it.
Nicely done. So what was the it for you?
For me, it's the staff. They treat me like family. I've been coming back for 10 years. I bought 5 cars with them. I would recommend them to anybody.
Well, it's no surprise that Genesis of Plano offers an outstanding customer sales experience. It's in their DNA being part of the Huffines Auto family, which has been family-owned and proudly serving the DFW Metroplex for 100 years, putting customer service first since 1924. And get huge savings on hundreds of new vehicles like the G70, GV70, GV80, and check out our limited-time manager specials. You won't find a better experience anywhere else. And shop online anytime at genesisofplano.com. It's car buying the way it should be. Simple, transparent, and all about you. Let's cue the jingle.
Will your retirement dreams survive the next market crash? Do you have a plan for a potential 30, 40, or even 50% fall? Imagine the sacrifices you may have to make. Would you be forced to unretire? Hi, I'm Ken Moray, founder and CEO of Retirement Planners of America, here to invite you to one of our free retirement planning seminars. We'll explain our invest and protect strategy and how it is designed to protect you from the next bear market. We want your money to last as long as you do. We'll also discuss Social Security, Medicare, retirement cash flow, and more. Don't miss out on this free opportunity to expand your retirement knowledge. Sign up for a seminar today.
Call now, 469-331-2426. That's 469-331-2426.
Retirement Planners of America, RPOA.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-419-2387. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Holcomb City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus media station.
Trending now.
The next steps in the impeachment of a Biden cabinet secretary. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We've been dealing with about a 5 to 10 minute construction delay this afternoon in Frisco on the southbound Dallas North Tollway. They've closed down the left lane at Lebanon Road. You're stop and go now back from around Cotton Gin Road. And off the highway in Dallas, Walnut Hill near Webb Chapel, we have reports of a crash coming in, so use caution through the area. And starting to see some rush hour congestion pick up on 75 southbound between Forest Lane and I-30. It's about 15 minutes behind schedule. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? Who else has 63 acres with massive savings? New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Why go anywhere else? Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Well, beautiful Friday out there today. Looks like a nice Easter weekend coming up. Sunshine the rest of the day. Gusty south breezes. Highs in the mid to upper 70s. Tonight, just a few scattered clouds. A low of 61. Partly sunny Saturday. High 79. Easter Sunday, a few more clouds, but still dry. Lows in the mid 60s. Afternoon high in the low 80s. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT. For WBAP News, I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau at the Weather Channel.
77 degrees in Dallas, 76 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Novak Motors. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he plans on moving forward with the impeachment of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma spoke on Fox Business's The Big Money Show.
On the surface, yeah, it looks like he's not doing his job. Absolutely, it looks like he should be replaced. But I can't say that I'm willing to impeach because I got to see the evidence first.
House Republicans accused Mayorkas of knowingly allowing hundreds of thousands of migrants and asylum seekers into the United States without properly vetting them. The Department of Homeland Security has denied the claims and described the probe as a political exercise. The Dallas Park Department and Fair Park first broke ground on a 2-year, $140 million project to upgrade the historic Cotton Bowl Stadium. Fair Park First CEO Brian Llewellyn remembered the day when the renovation project received legislative approval.
I was lucky enough to be in Austin the day the final vote went through, and it was a contentious day, the last day of the session, with Angie Shinbutton walking up with a cowboy hat on and a statue of Big Tex, and she said this will help enhance Dallas's Fair Park, and a unanimous cheer went up among the audience.
The upgrades include 2 new multi-story entries with outdoor terraces at the west entrance gates, as well as additional restrooms and concession stands. Your money news: the Biden administration pledging $60 million to fund cleanup efforts at the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble is in Maryland with more.
Some trucks moving in as they set up some concrete barriers and prepare for a lot of activity in this area in the coming days. We do know of the largest crane barge on the East Coast out in the Patapsco River, not yet working, and there's another barge on the way. Governor Wes Moore said that crews are moving as quickly as possible, but he's also been reminding everyone how difficult this task is going to be.
Recovery efforts still underway for the bodies of 4 construction workers who were on the bridge at the time of its collapse. Again, the high today around 77 degrees. It is 77 in Dallas, 76 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Garrett. Garrett, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome. It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Happy Friday. Well, 2 presidents took 2 trips this week. One president went to New York to go to some fundraisers. Another president went to New York to go to a funeral. I wonder if you can guess which is which. Sergeant Betsy Brantner Smith, spokesperson for the National Police Association, thank you very much for coming back on the James Show. Tell me about this funeral that Trump went to. Jonathan Diller, who is he?
So Officer Jonathan Diller is a 31-year-old police officer for the NYPD. He's been on the job about 3 years, and he was killed in the line of duty this week while making a traffic stop. And he was murdered by a man who had 21 prior arrests and 2 prison sentences, one for drugs, one for violent crime. He's been arrested for gun crimes, armed robbery, things like that. And so his wake was yesterday. His funeral is on Saturday. But while Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and President Joe Biden held a star-studded fundraiser last night hosted by not very funny comedian Stephen Colbert, President Trump, an invited guest of the family, went to the wake and met with the widow, and then he made some statements afterwards.
So how did Trump get rolled into this funeral? He didn't go to the funeral for every fallen police officer?
He was invited as a guest of the family. And, law enforcement is aware that Donald Trump, prior to being president and after being president, he's always had a special place in his heart for law enforcement and, of course, especially the NYPD, since he is until recently was a lifelong New York resident. And again, he did not do this as a campaign stop. He was invited by the family to come and pay his respects to a young man who 3 years ago, at the height of the anti-cop sentiment in this country, decided to join the NYPD and serve. And he leaves behind a young widow and a 1-year-old son who probably, unfortunately, will not remember his father.
What's the situation on the suspect who shot him? Is he in custody awaiting trial, or he get away? I really don't know a whole lot about this case.
So Officer Jonathan Diller was able to, while being mortally wounded under his body armor, he was hit in the stomach, was able to get the gun away from this career criminal. And the career criminal was then shot by Officer Diller's partner, and he's in the hospital and is being charged, once he is released from the hospital. I think one of the things that people need to understand is most cop killers are career criminals. And we have had 28 police officers die in the line of duty this year. This year is 90 days. So in 90 days, we've lost 28 police officers, 9 by gunfire. 1 was stabbed, 1 was assaulted, 4 were hit by vehicles, intentionally hit by vehicles. There's a war on cops out there.
So the general tenor of the police of New York City, Are they outspokenly criticizing Joe Biden, or are they saying nice things about Trump? How is this playing with the morale of the police force as a whole?
Well, of course, last night at this fundraiser, it was NYPD and, of course, state, other local cops and federal cops protecting all of these dignitaries while they were raising money for political purposes. But as you can imagine, the morale at the NYPD is pretty terrible. They've got to deal with the migrant crisis. They have to deal with district attorneys who, have ushered in things like, no cash bail, bail reform, all of that. And again, you arrest somebody if you're an NYPD cop and they are back out on the street before you can finish your report. So actually, the morale, or I should say the reaction to Donald Trump coming to Officer Diller's wake was it was very welcome, because politicians, especially in New York, tend to be pretty anti-cop. And so it was nice to have a politician come by and say kind things and recognize the sacrifice of the NYPD. And the reason why this is such a big deal as well, with the murder of this police officer, is NYPD is kind of America's police department, if you will. So this really hits home, not just for us in law enforcement, but really for every law-abiding citizen in this country.
Betsy, what happens tomorrow? Is Trump going to go to that funeral as well, or are we expecting any other dignitaries or someone to show up there?
I don't believe Donald Trump will be there. This is a very solemn, it will be a very huge event. But the Sergeants Benevolent Association for the NYPD has called out specifically a couple of city council members, Adrian Adams and Jumani Williams, and told them, don't show up, don't come, because these are very anti-cop politicians. So many politicians, like these two council members, have spoken openly calling out the NYPD for, false things. And the Sergeants Benevolent Association said, you know what, you're not welcome.
Well, Eric Adams is a former cop. You would figure some of these relationships would be repaired a little bit.
Well, Eric Adams was not exactly a cop's cop, and he's not real popular with the NYPD. He will be there tomorrow.
I see that.
No doubt. But the police officers have turned their back on Eric Adams in the past publicly. And so I think he'll probably be pretty low key tomorrow. You've got at a police funeral, and I've been to many of them, you have to let the family grieve, and you have to let those closest to the fallen officer have their time to grieve. And in most police funerals, for those who don't know, police officers from all over the world actually come to these funerals. And so this isn't about politics. It's about a grieving family.
Sergeant Betsy Bratner-Smith, thank you very much for being on the James Show again. She's with the National Police Association. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it. I ask everybody, go to nationalpolice.org, see what we do, hit that donate button, and help us support cops.
We got it out there. Thank you, Betsy. All right, stay put on the James Show. Got a few things coming up. We're going to play Where in the World is P. Diddler next. Then we're going to play Name That Artist at 3:35. And then you're going to hear the interview on the WBAP Morning Show with literally anybody else. That's his name, literally anybody else. Coming up after that at 4:47. So just leave it right here. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
The most accurate and dependable forecasts daily from Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton, the National Weather Service, the Weather Channel, and WFAA News 8. Keep connected, DFW. News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3. This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Will Height Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willheightwins.com.
Here's automotive expert and nationally syndicated talk show host, Jerry Reynolds.
Ford Truck Month ends soon at the 4 DFW 5-star Ford dealerships, and nobody does Truck Month like Sam Pack. If you've waited on the best time to get that new pickup, now is the time, but Truck Month only comes once a year, and it ends on April 2nd. Get the super low rate of 1.9% APR for a full 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on all 2023 F-150s except Raptor and Trimmer with approved credit through FMCC, and you get a pair of Lucchese boots. SUV lovers 2023 Bronco Sports and Escapes have 0% for 60 plus $1,000, and 2023 Explorer has 1.9 for 60 plus $1,750. It absolutely ends April 2nd, so rush to 5 Star Ford in Carrollton, North Richland Hills, Louisville, or Dallas. Sampac.com.
We're taking care of business.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Balance of Nature makes a difference in my well-being and how I feel and everything. It's true. It makes a difference. If you take Balance of Nature, you have a happy day because you just feel a little better. It's like a restaurant in New Orleans. Her famous saying was, when you come to our restaurant, you leave a little happier than when you got here. And that's what Balance of Nature does. It lets your day be a little happier than it would be without the Balance of Nature.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code Dallas.
It's Casey Bartholomew, and I'm here with Chris Waters, who developed the Waters Real Estate Investment to provide the benefits of real estate investing without the work or risk. Right, Chris?
The Waters Real Estate Fund was built to provide investors double-digit returns with limited volatility. For over a decade, we have exceeded investor expectations with double-digit returns, tax savings, and monthly distributions.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, visit doubledigitreturns.com. That's doubledigitreturns.com.
Celebrate our risen Savior, Jesus Christ, at First Baptist Dallas on Easter Sunday. Our pastor, Dr. Robert Jeffress, will deliver a powerful Easter message. And our choir and orchestra and First Dallas Band will lead us in worship. Kids will experience an interactive journey through the biblical story at Resurrection Road. Join us at 9:15 or 11 a.m. on March 31st. For more information, visit firstdallas.org/Easter.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
We have a couple of new crashes in Tarrant County. One's on northbound 35W at Northside Yucca. It's got traffic stacking up around Rosedale. Give yourself maybe 5 to 10 extra minutes to get through. And the other's on your way into Arlington on 30 eastbound. 2 left lanes gone just a little bit after East Chase. You have about a 30-minute jam built up from East Loop 820. And in Frisco, still have that construction southbound Dallas North Tollway at Lebanon Road. They've closed down the left lane. That's going to add about 5 to 10 minutes of extra stop and go from Cotton Gin Road. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by All Pro Foundation Repair. Separation from the soil, sheetrock cracks, or sticking doors, those are signs of foundation problems, and they don't get better on their own. So call the pros at All Pro Foundation Repair today at 877-MEAN-GREEN.
All Pro Foundation Repair, the right solution for your home.
Become a WBAP all-day listener, DFW, and ADL today, and keep connected. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Welcome back to the big show. Well, we're playing America's new favorite game. I know it hasn't really been named yet, but we're all doing it right now, and it's Where in the World is P. Diddler? Where's Puff Daddy? Well, no one actually knows for sure, but the latest we have on Sean Love Combs, also known as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or simply Diddy. I believe last we heard he may be in Miami. Let's check with the map. Miami is down here in the southeast part of America. He also has a home in Los Angeles. Whoa, you got to take a plane all the way over to the west coast of America on the map. It's at the bottom left. Can you just imagine the stupid show with the big dumb map on it? We're pointing out all his houses. And we know that his private jet, loaded with probably friends, family, a few loved ones, and very likely federal evidence, went to Antigua. Now, why do you go to Antigua? You go to Antigua because they have a good Dave and Buster's? Is that where you're going to Antigua? Because the restaurant scene? Or are you going to Antigua to get the hell out of this country and go somewhere where you can hide? I mean, the Antigua part, you throw that in there, it's like, man, people, what's with these creepers having islands in the Caribbean? Is that part of it? I didn't know you're supposed to do all that. Is that part of the compulsion? No, that's part of them wanting to skirt the law. And once you have millions and millions, maybe even billions of dollars, and this is what you're into. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein did it. Puff Daddy's now a Caribbean Islander girl. You know who spends a lot of time in the Caribbean islands? Kenny Chesney. Has anyone seen him lately? He's not one of these people, is he? I think he might just like not wearing shoes or something. But we still don't know where Diddy was during the searches. We do have some footage that TMZ got. Why is TMZ the most reliable source in so many of these stories? I think is the last time that I can remember seeing him. He was at the airport in Miami. Well, not the airport. It's an executive airport. Not the kind of airports that you and I go to, but the kind of people that have private planes. You can afford such things. That's also where Diddy's drug mule was picked up. And that was just hours after the raids happened. So someone said that they saw him last night at a Top Golf in Miami with his 17-year-old daughters. That's the last I have. Top Golf, huh? Yeah, you got to work on your mid game, I guess, when you're being hunted by the feds. So that will conclude today's episode of Where in the World is P. Diddy? Or P. Diddler. I like P. Diddler better because P. Diddley's a P. Diddler. Thought it was good. Thank you. Thank you. You're witnessing radio history. Man, I remember loving so many of these shows when I was a kid, and then you go back and you turn them on with your kids. You're like, oh, you're going to love this old show. Check us out. And some of them they like. They like the Beetlejuice cartoon that me and my wife watched when we were kids. But I turned on like one of these old episodes of Carmen Sandiego, and I about got laughed out the room. My kids were like, Dad, you're a dork. And I'm like, man, I guess I was. It's not now a good time, though, to remember P. Diddy. Look, just because he's a bad guy, or allegedly, reportedly, if it turns out he is a bad guy, let me put it like that. If it turns out he is into, abusing people and bondage and physical abuse and unfavorable stuff with minors here, that doesn't mean he was necessarily wrong on his political activism now. Just keep that in mind.
This man is elected. We're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war. White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. When you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
See, here's a few things about this clip that I want to ask you about. Number one, white men like that should be banished. Should I be banished? Should Sean over there on the board be banished? Well, definitely Sean, but what about me? What about Bruce over in the office over there? He made the montage for Name That Artist that's going to happen in the next segment. Should he be? Who needs to be banished? See, white guys like that need to be banished. I love how no one gets their racial weenie engorged at that comment. A clearly racist comment. Just, that's whatever. It's against white people. Let it fly. But also it's starting to make sense why he's at the Top Golf, because have you been to a Top Golf? They have the arcade section. Some of them have like the skeet ball. He goes over there and he'll take a couple whacks with his hybrid or his one wood or whatever, and then he'll go peruse the skee ball on the way to the bar, just see if he can pick up some talent. I think that's what he's doing over there. All right, coming up next, you know who Jordan Peterson is? Yeah, you probably do. You're listening to the James Show. Well, I have tickets to give away to Jordan Peterson. We're going to play Name That Artist. Now, there's a couple of criteria here. Number one, you have to like Jordan Peterson and want to go. But then you also have to listen to this montage and say to yourself, oh, cool. I literally know every single one of the artists in this montage. And if you meet both of those criteria, then you're going to call the number I give you after the montage. Play it here, Sean.
I went back to Ohio, but my city was gone. It was a beautiful day, sun beat down. I had the radio on. Run away. It's your heart that you betray.
Oh, baby, it might seem like a crush, but it doesn't mean that I'm serious.
The girls was all jockey at the other end of the bar, having drinks with some no-name chump when they know that I'm the star.
I walk along the city streets you used to walk along with me. Once in your life, you find her, someone who turns your heart around, and next thing you know, you're closing down the town.
Treated me kind, sweet destiny, carried me through desperation to the one that was waiting for me.
All right, I got 7 out of those 10 first time I tried it. But if you know all 10 and you want to go see Jordan Peterson, he's coming to the Dickies Arena next month. I believe it's April 15th. I'll have all the details coming up. But your job is you're going to go run and grab a piece of paper and a pencil, or maybe dig through your glove box and get a piece of paper and a pencil, or pull out your phone and do it in your notepad. We'll play the montage again, and then you write down all the artists real quick, and then when I go to you, you'll be able to just read them all off, because we're not going to play this montage in real time and have you guessing. So you're going to write them down after this break, and then you can go ahead and call, though, 800-288-9227. Did you know the artists of all 10 of those songs? 800-288-9227. We'll play Name That Artist coming back on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. I've competed in more than 25 triathlons, but what really gets my heart pumping is helping fellow Texans injured in accidents. I'll go the distance for you. Get your free case review at wilhitewins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Are your bad feet stopping you from being active? Hi, this is Brandy from the Good Feet store. Your feet are the foundation to an active lifestyle, and an active lifestyle is important to your health. So how about trading in your bad feet for some good feet? The Good Feet store would love to help you achieve your goals and get healthy this year. Wouldn't it be nice to work, walk, and play pain-free again?
The pain I was in was really excruciating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store. Get rid of your foot pain with no shots, no surgery, and no pill.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Find the closest Good Feet store to you at goodfeet.com.
Will your retirement dreams survive the next market crash? Do you have a plan for a potential 30, 40, or even 50% fall? Imagine the sacrifices you may have to make. Would you be forced to unretire? Hi, I'm Ken Moray, founder and CEO of Retirement Planners of America, here to invite you to one of our free retirement planning seminars. We'll explain our invest and protect strategy and how it is designed to protect you from the next bear market. We want your money to last as long as you do. We'll also discuss Social Security, Medicare, retirement cash flow, and more. Don't miss out on this free opportunity to expand your retirement knowledge. Sign up for a seminar today.
Call now, 469-331-2426. That's 469-331-2426.
Retirement Planners of America, RPOA.com.
If you were hurt in a crash, it's important to act fast. Instead of haggling with insurance, just call Thomas J. Henry. Remember, the call is free and you don't pay us any fees unless we win your case. Contact Thomas J. Henry today, San Antonio, Texas.
Investors, this message is for you. Each week, McGowan Group Wealth Management, ranked one of the best in Texas by Forbes magazine, pulls the most important financial headlines and research to bring you Net Worth Radio. Saturday afternoons at 4, WBAP 820 and 93.3 FM. Get your weekly fast-paced tour of the most important financial news with investment strategy. WBAP Saturdays at 4 and networthradio.com.
Maintaining and preparing to sell a home can be costly and time-consuming. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, it doesn't have to be. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. You can sell your home stress-free, make the most money, and move when you're ready. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Kay Davis, said, working with Mark Spain Real Estate was a dream scenario for us. We were able to close fast without making any improvements, and it closed within a couple of weeks. Mark Spain Real Estate was professional and kept us updated with the process and progress. We highly recommend them. I've been in business for nearly 30 years and have served over 50,000 satisfied clients, and I know what matters most: a quick sale and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
Work begins to clean up the collapsed Baltimore Bridge. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have only the right shoulder getting by a crash heading into Arlington on 30 eastbound. Just a little bit after East Chase, you're bumper to bumper back from 820. Looks like about a 30 to 45 minute delay on East Loop 820 northbound after Sun Valley Drive. There's a disabled vehicle in the left lane that's causing maybe a 3 to 5 minute slowdown through the area. We also have a crash in Fort Worth on northbound 35W just before Northside Yucca. It's causing about a 10-minute jam from Rosedale. And in Frisco, we've been dealing with some construction this afternoon. Southbound Dallas North Tollway has the left lane closed at Lebanon Road. That's about a 10-minute backup from Cotton Gin Road. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones. I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? Who else has 63 acres with massive savings? New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Why go anywhere else? Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Find new roads.
The WBAP forecast, mostly sunny and breezy today with a high in the upper 70s. It is 76 in Dallas and in Fort Worth. Cleanup efforts have begun in the port of Baltimore after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Maryland Governor Wes Moore telling reporters about the monumental task of removing bridge parts off the crashed cargo ship.
That weight is somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 tons. So our team needs to cut that truss into sections in a safe, in a responsible, and in an efficient way before it can lift those pieces out of the water.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which is assisting in cleanup efforts, says it's too early to know a cleanup timeline as experts assess the safety of the wreckage. Your Money News: residents of Fort Worth got the chance to weigh in on the city's new vision for Panther Island.
The billion-dollar flood control project would create a one-of-a-kind waterfront district filled with green space, similar to the San Antonio Riverwalk. The development would include new apartments, retail, and restaurants. However, while some people support the growth, others worry that the project will increase their property taxes and price them out. The Army Corps of Engineers will begin construction on a canal to connect the two sections of the Trinity River as early as next year. Sean Allen, WBAP News.
Again, the high today in the upper 70s. It is 76 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected. DFW to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
What a way to start a new Major League Baseball season with a game we had last night at Globe Life Field. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. You had the ceremony for the World Series champs before they took the field. The new banner unfurled. It wasn't perfect, but they'll fix that wrinkle between the O and the R in World before the next game. And then you had that play with catcher Jonah Heim in the ninth, a disputed foul tip that gave the Cubs a lead. But in the bottom of the ninth, Travis Jankowski, who had one home run all of last season, hits one out and we're tied going to extra innings. And then Heim hits a two-out liner in the 10th and the Rangers win. Biggest regular season crowd at the Globe since it opened in 2020. No game today. The series continues on Saturday night when the Rangers players will receive their World Series rings. A lot of Cougars, Blue Devils, Golden Eagle, and Wolfpack college basketball fans are in town for the men's NCAA basketball tournament taking place at the American Airlines Center. The winners tonight advance to the Elite Eight. They'll play on Sunday. The winner of that game is headed to the Final Four. That's your check on sports. I'm Steve Lamb.
Navigating your way to work with the most accurate time-saving routes and Monty Cook. News Talk 820 WBAP.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Time to play Name That Artist, but if you're wanting to call in, the number is 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227. Do you have your phone out? Do you have a Google document open or the Notepad app open, something to that effect? And are you ready to hear the montage? If you can name the artist to all 10 of these songs, you can call in right now. In fact, the dude we were going to put through just hung up. So this is for Jordan Peterson tickets to see his We Who Wrestle with God tour at Dickies Arena, April 15th. Tax day. Look at that. So are you both a Jordan Peterson fan, and can you name the 10 artists in this montage?
I went back to Ohio, but my city was gone. It was a beautiful day, sun beat down. I had the radio on. Run away. It's your heart that you betrayed.
Oh, baby, it might seem like a crush, but it doesn't mean that I'm serious. Baby, you send me baby, you send me Now walk right through the door.
The girls was all jockey at the other end of the bar. Have a drink with some no-name chump when they know that I'm the star.
I walk along the city streets you used to walk along with me. Once in your life, you find her, someone who turns your heart around, and next thing you know, you're closing down the town. Treated me kind, sweet destiny, carried me through desperation to the one that was waiting for me.
All right, so that is the montage. If you know all 10 artists, 800-288-9227. I know it's difficult. Not many people are going to know this. In fact, just a few special people in the DFW Metroplex of over 6 million people are going to be able to name all 10. So if you are one of those magic people and you want to go see Jordan Peterson at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, April 15th, call 800-288-9227. Now, Tammy texted me in her answers on the Facebook Messenger, and she got 9 out of 10. Actually, she got 8 out of 10. She said soft sell. The one where you said soft sell, that one was wrong, Tammy. And then the one where you said I don't know, that was the other one you got wrong, obviously. So, yeah, if that helps any, one of them's not soft sell. 800-288-9227. We had a guy on the line that looked like he was ready to go, and then he dropped off, and I don't think anyone else is going to get this. All right, so what if you know 9 of them? What if you know 8? How about we start lowering the bar in sort of a reverse limbo game. The easier it gets, the lower the bar gets. Because Bruce doesn't like that. Bruce had me turn down tickets for a guy that only got 7 right when we played on Monday. That was brutal. But I understand that. I didn't like that guy's attitude anyway. It's not that you have to call in and be Rainbows and Sunshine. I'll name that artist. Or we were doing Dead or Alive. 800-288-9227. You want to just do the going once, going twice? I know there's like a 30-second delay. All right, fine. I'll just tell you then. Play the montage and I'll talk over it. No one's going to win. No one wants to take. I'll take them. Me and Miss Parker want to go to this anyway. We were hoping that some of these would go unclaimed, so I appreciate the help.
Miss Parker.
No one's calling in? You want to do it? You want to just spoil it and I'll talk over it? Yeah? All right. Well, this has been a total bust. Play the montage. I'll tell you all the super part. This is the Pretenders.
But my city was
the Pretenders, yeah.
It was a beautiful day.
Tom Petty. This is Scandal. You know, Tammy said Patty Smythe, but we'll give that to her. Britney Spears. Tammy got that one. This a lot of people didn't get. Sean didn't know this one. This is PM Dawn. This was so cool for about 9 months. That is Jane's Addiction. That's the other one Tammy didn't get. Tone Loc, his other song. This is the one she said was Soft Cell. No, this is Naked Eyes. Who puts clothes on their eyes? Aren't they all naked? Christopher Cross. I did not get this one in the pre-show meeting. I did not know that one. I think everybody got this one. Mariah Carey. Did you get that one, Sean? No, you didn't get that one, Sean? No. You're such a boomer. All right, well, thanks for being part of this huge embarrassing failure that we call Name That Artist. Yeah, don't clap. Oh, fine, we'll do some claps. These are pity claps. That was so bad, I will take pity claps. Hey, coming up in at the end of the show, you know how we do Best Day Ever? One of the bullet points on Best Day Ever is it's the anniversary of this. This is, I guess, 32 years ago. This beautiful quote.
And when I was in England, I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it, and didn't inhale, and never tried it again.
Smoke weed every day.
Who believes that? Who believes that someone pretended to smoke marijuana or attempted to smoke marijuana and screwed it up? Yeah, I just didn't inhale. So what were you just, so your friends didn't think you were a cop? You just pretended to smoke? Or you messed it up. You didn't know how to smoke. Like, I don't know how this works. Do you blow into it? Do you suck in your nose? Like, I can't figure this out. If you don't know how a joint works, maybe you shouldn't be president. Maybe that's a demerit. Maybe that's a flaw, not a feature. Of course he smoked weed. Whoop-de-doo. He was lying about it. We know. Same thing with he lied about Monica. Is that important though? Shouldn't we care about a man's policy positions and not whether or not he has the dexterity to master a bong? Is this how we pick our presidents? Stay put. Coming up next on the James Show, we have an announcement from 7-Eleven. I'm not sure if it's April Fool's Day prank or if it's legit. Hot dog flavored water coming up next on the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Get news 24 hours a day from the Novak Motors 24/7 News Desk. Keep connected, DFW. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
This report is sponsored by Superstar Car Wash.
It's spring savings at Superstar Car Wash. Lock in unlimited car washes for just $15 a month with our clean plan. March 28th through April 1st. Available at any of our locations or online. Visit superstarcarwash.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
When divorce is inevitable, you need an experienced and assertive family law attorney from the law firm of Bailey & Gallion to protect your rights. The emotions that come with a marital breakup can make it difficult to objectively determine what's in your best interest. You want proven family law attorneys to help you make the right decisions about custody, visitation, support, and property distribution. The law firm of Bailey & Gallion will help you protect your vital interests. Call now for a free initial consultation with a family law attorney near you. Call 800-LAW-OFFICE. Bailey and Gallion has offices in the DFW Metroplex and throughout the state of Texas, and a newly opened office at the Legal Cafe across from the historic Fort Worth Courthouse on Main Street. Call 800-LAW-OFFICE or visit our website at thetexasattorney.com. thetexasattorney.com. Let Bailey and Gallion, the official law firm of the world champion Texas Rangers, solve your legal puzzle. Call 800-LAW-OFFICE, 800-LAW-OFFICE, or thetexasattorney.com.
I'm at Genesis of Plano, part of the Huffines Auto family, with longtime customer Anna Portillo. Quick question, Anna. Can you sing the jingle for us?
Huffines has it.
Nicely done. So what was the it for you?
For me, it's the staff. They treat me like family. I've been coming back for 10 years. I've bought 5 cars with them. I would recommend them to anybody.
Well, it's no surprise that Genesis of Plano offers an outstanding customer sales experience. It's in their DNA being part of the Huffines Auto family, which has been family-owned and proudly serving the DFW Metroplex for 100 years, putting customer service first since 1924. And get huge savings on hundreds of new vehicles like the G70, GV70, GV80, and check out our limited-time manager specials. You won't find a better experience anywhere else. And shop online anytime at genesisofplano.com. It's car buying the way it should be. Simple, transparent, and all about you. Let's cue the jingle.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Brought to you by the University of North Texas Health Science Center at Fort Worth.
Earn a degree from HSC Fort Worth and help change the future of healthcare. Become a student in one of our 6 academic schools and get the education you need for the career you want. Go to unthsc.edu/now to learn more.
Still have only the right shoulder getting by a crash heading into Arlington on 30 eastbound a little bit after East Chase. Your stop and go back from East Loop 820 looks like about a half-hour delay, maybe 45 minutes of extra commute. On East Loop 820 northbound, there's a disabled vehicle in the left lane just a little bit after Sun Valley Drive. That's causing a minor slowdown through the immediate area. They cleared a crash northbound 35W just before Northside Yucca. Still have about a 10-minute jam unwinding out of downtown. Frisco, you have construction in the left lane, southbound Dallas North Tollway at Lebanon Road. That's another 10-minute jam from Main Street. And we have a new crash in Rockwall 30 westbound just before Goliath Street. That's causing about a 20-minute delay from FM 3549. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Junk for Joy.
Donate your car today at junkforjoy.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
Donate your car today to Junk for Joy.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome back to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Thank you for joining me on the big Friday edition of the show. 7-Eleven has something going out that we're not sure if this is real or if this is a April Fool's Day prank that they're setting up, but they had a press release and on social media they announced a new flavor of seltzer. They have some custom seltzers that they sell only exclusively in 7-Eleven locations. The Fort Worth-based chain says the new flavor, hot dog water. Hot dog water. Okay, I'm trying it. I'll definitely try it. I kind of like hot dog water. I don't mean to be too gross, but I'm a big fan. It's supposed to be flavored like their Big Bites. You know, the Big Bite is the name brand that they have on their hot dogs that are on the rollers over there. There's like the Italian style, and then there's the jalapeno and cheese, and then the regular normal skinny sized one. But the double sized one's called a Big Bite, like a big gulp, Big Bite. And they have a Big Bite flavored seltzer water that's supposed to drop on April 1st, but since some people have noticed that that's April Fool's Day, I don't know if this is real or not. If it's real, I'm going to try it. If it's a joke and I see the can, I'm still going to try it. It probably tastes terrible, but I'll let you know on the James Show. This morning, the WBAP morning show got a very important person on the phone, literally anybody else.
He changed his name to literally anybody else. He is from North Texas, and he joins us live this Good Friday morning to tell us why he did that. Formerly known as Dustin, good morning, and thank you for being with us on WBAP.
Good morning, good morning. I hope y'all are staying safe out there.
Thank you. What should we call you for short? Is it Lit, or what do you go by now? True question.
I answer to all three. For stuff like this, it's Mr. Else or just literally.
All right. Well, literally, let me ask you, you changed your name from something else. So now I'm curious, the reason you did this is it has to do with the election coming up.
Oh, it's everything to do with the election coming up. As we got further and further into this election season, I just saw that this rerun of just horrible choices was, I didn't want this to be the repeat of the same feelings that we all went through last time, and then the culmination of that ended up being January 6th. That was kind of just the indicators like this. There's so much passion regarding this whole decision because people are just, instead of voting for who they want to, they're voting against a candidate. And I changed the name to kind of bring light, or to kind of see how many people this resonated with, the idea that we could do better with literally anybody else. And it's been growing like crazy. Like, I am very humbled. But
now, are you going to actually officially be on a ballot somewhere?
We're working on it. I was actually just got off the phone before you called with someone in Hawaii to try to coordinate the petitions there.
Wow. So I think at first, maybe some people, I may have thought myself, oh, this is a publicity stunt, right? Just having a little fun with something that's, all of us are kind of beaten down over. But you're very serious about this. You are an Army veteran. Thank you for your service. You are a North Texas school teacher. You take that very seriously. And you take the love of your country very seriously. Is that right?
Indeed. Yeah. It is gimmicky. Like the name itself, it grabs your attention in a very gimmicky way. But now that I have your attention, pay attention while I earn your vote.
Let me ask you, would you change it back if you somehow won?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
It's admittedly a very silly name. And it has the purpose of, communicating an idea in a single read. It's one of those things, when you see a headline, literally anybody else for president, you know exactly what it's about.
How do your students feel about this?
My students actually didn't know up until very recently, and I'm actually not allowed to talk about it per an agreement with my school district.
Understood. Okay.
Really?
Would they call you Mr. Self, or can you tell us?
Or do they just use your other name?
They use the name my mom gave me.
Okay.
Sure. Right. Understood. Now, you took this a step farther. You actually bought the domain literallyanybodyelse.com last year?
Correct. I bought it last year with the intent of kind of capitalizing on the sentiment commercially. I did not have the intent of running when I bought the domain. I was going to sell shirts, mugs, coffee, mugs, candles, whatever have you. Just like, oh, hey, if there's a market for it, I can make a product to cash in.
It's actually not a bad idea for a side hustle.
Seriously.
Indeed. But as we got further and further along, closer toward the election season, the idea came to me to actually have it on the ballot, and the opportunity just to kind of give a voice to something that was so, spread out, scattered. If we can centralize this sentiment, maybe it can have a real effect, a real impact on our elections moving forward. If we can effectively communicate to the parties, you need to bring it back to center. All right, enough to where it actually moves the needle, then that's a win. At the very least, that's a win. Because it's all but impossible task to get on the ballot and to actually succeed.
If I see you in a debate, I'm going to be very impressed.
I would be very impressed as well. It's one of those. All this has been so humbling.
Oh my goodness!
So thankful that that I've been able to see the success that I've seen. I mean, up until last night, it's been just me, and a few phone calls from.
Now, literally, let me ask you this: our final question. I got a 10-second answer. Do you lean more to the left or more to the right? More Democrat, more Republican?
I grew up conservative Christian, so I lean slightly more to the right, but as an adult, I kind of developed my views, so I average out center.
Okay. All right. Literally anybody else. I'm assuming that's .com?
.com. Yes, indeed.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Good luck.
Thanks for having me. Y'all have a blessed morning.
How cool is that guy? All right, we're back to the James Show now. Stay with me. Coming up, we're going to talk to the sports director at WBAP, Steve Lamb, about the stellar start to the Rangers season last night. And then there's a whole tornado of March Madness going on right now. We'll get you all caught up on that on the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended silver unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Taxes and fees apply.
Don't trust your health to a 1-800 number or newcomer company. Men's Edge Medical has been in DFW helping thousands of Metroplex men with ED and performance issues for more than 16 years. Men's Edge Medical is just like going to any other doctor's appointment. They provide a customized solution in a comfortable environment. Here's patient counselor Raul Garza.
You are never a number at Men's Edge Medical. We offer affordable, reliable, and safe results for ED and other premature-related issues. And if you don't get a result on the first visit, it's free.
Acoustic wave therapies often don't work and aren't guaranteed, and your regular doctor may only prescribe medications with common side effects. So call the experts at Men's Edge Medical today at their new, easy-to-get-to location at Alpha and Preston, 972-996-0900. 972-996-0900.
Tired of wasting money painting your home every few years? Paint chips, peels, and fades. With Rhino Shield ceramic coating, you'll never have to paint your home again. Rhino Shield is perfect for wood, brick, stucco, aluminum, and vinyl. Rhino Shield's Gary Zanobi talks about Rhino Shield's lasting value.
That looks terrific. We've got testimonials from people that say it looks like we just did it a couple weeks ago and that we did their job 10, 15 years ago.
And if your home needs some minor cosmetic repairs prior to application, no problem.
Out of our 10 crews, we have 3 of them that are very, very good with wood repair. And you've got to be skilled at that. What we would do, we would put that crew on there and we could repair that for them. And we're very fair with the pricing. We let the homeowner know up front what it is. It's much less than if they just hire a contractor to do that.
Rhino Shield is backed by a 25-year warranty. Schedule a free estimate by calling 844-RHINO-28, 844-RHINO-28, or visit RhinoShieldTX.com.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is Victor McClure, the president of McClure Capital, and for decades, the host of the Common Sense Investing Show. In appreciation to all the listeners, I want to offer you a free copy of my very first book, The Common Sense Investing Guide to Retirement. This is your definitive guide to everything retirement. I put my 30-plus years as a retirement planner into one book. If you're within 20 years of retirement or currently retired, this book is the most informative guide you'll ever own. How do you get the most out of Social Security? How to properly plan for taxes, inflation, health care. How to get the most out of your Medicare. How to allocate your assets before and during retirement. There is a difference. How to avoid the single biggest threat to retirement. Believe it or not, it's not inflation or taxes. Most importantly, how how to guarantee you'll achieve the retirement of your dreams and to make sure it lasts for the rest of your life. Call for a free copy at 972-715-2424. That's 972-715-2424, or go to ilovemyretirement.com.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use, about travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus media station.
Trending now.
Marking a year since Russia arrested an American journalist, I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Some very heavy traffic as you make your way into downtown Dallas. Southbound on 75 Central actually begins near the High 5 and continues all the way down to I-30 as you get into toward Woodall Rogers and eventually toward the interchange with 30. We're going to check into that, see if there might be something there blocking a lane of traffic. There is a wreck on I-30 on the westbound side. It's going to be near 205, making your way through Rockwall. At last check, that was backing traffic up in the area back toward 3549. It's about a 7 or 8 minute delay. And then a wreck on eastbound I-30 past East Chase, moving from Fort Worth into Arlington, just cleared. So traffic is loosening up now from East Loop 820. With WBAP First Traffic and Weather on the ones, I'm Michael Scott.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? Who else has 63 acres with massive savings? New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Why go anywhere else? Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Find new roads.
For WBAP, I'm WFAA meteorologist Jesse Huila. Breezy and mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 60. The weekend looks warm and partly sunny. Saturday, 82. Sunday, maybe a little bit more cloud cover with a high temperature of 83.
76 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mueller, Inc. Today marks the one-year anniversary of Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich's arrest in Russia. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel joined Neil Cavuto to discuss the status of both Gershkovich and former Marine Paul Whelan, who's also being detained by Russia.
These claims that they're making, they're totally a sham. Evan was a journalist doing his job, and journalism is not a crime. And we're going to continue to do everything we can to bring both Evan and Paul home.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has signaled that he would be open to a prisoner swap that would free Gershkovich. Attorney General Ken Paxton has opened an investigation into Spirit Aerosystems Holdings.
The company produces the fuselages for Boeing 737 jets. According to Paxton, manufacturing defects on certain models of the 737 have led to numerous concerning or dangerous incidents, some of which occurred in air. Spirit Aerosystems is being instructed to produce a variety of documents relevant to manufacturing defects in their products. Additionally, the company must release documents related to its diversity, equity, and inclusion commitments, and whether those commitments are compromising the company's manufacturing process. Sean Allen, WBAP News.
Your money news during the April 8th total solar eclipse. It will be all hands on deck for big cities and rural towns in North Texas.
All of our law enforcement are on duty that day, so there'll be no one off. Our local fire departments plus our volunteers will be staffed that day. We have additional Care Flight ambulances on duty that day, plus we're going to have a helicopter station in the county that day, because you never know what what happens when that large of crowd of people show up.
Coffin County Judge Jackie Allen says the county expects more than 200,000 visitors as the region is in the path of totality. The judge is issuing a disaster declaration to help pay for costs associated with the eclipse. Again, the high today around 77 degrees. Tonight's low around 60. It is 76 in Dallas and in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Garland. Garland, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome. It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Go ahead and take off work an hour early. Just start goofing off now. I know you technically don't get off till 5, but you have permission from the James Show to just go ahead and kick up your feet and start jacking around on your phone and just goof off for this last hour. Joining me is WBAP Sports Director Steve Lamb, who after Rangers opening day, what an amazing game to start off the season as the defending World Series champs. Tell the guy, because I'm just going to assume the guy listening to us didn't see the game. Tell him about how it ended.
Well, first off, I'm waiting to see if you'll do exactly what you just told your listeners to do. Why don't you walk into Bruce and tell him, hey, I'm not going to fill in this last hour.
Yeah,
I'm taking off.
I see. I don't have a real job. I don't.
Yes, you do.
I'm not laying bricks over here, so I'm already kicked off. I'm just sitting around running my mouth. So
Okay,
I am doing what I told them to do.
All right, as far as summing up the Rangers catcher Jonah Heim hits a two-out single in extra innings, and the Rangers rally and beat the Chicago Cubs. How's that?
Dude,
doing all the other stuff that went with it.
The extra innings for the first game of the season, and then you have a walk-off ending. That's kind of a magical way to start your defense season.
It was just an electric atmosphere anyway, with all the the festivities were going on to celebrate the defending or the World Series champions. Have you talked about the banner and the unveiling of that?
We have not, but I heard in your report, because you're on during the James Show, we heard about the wrinkle.
Right. So they dropped the banner, and on the part where it says "World," the W and the O are kind of crinkled together. So they've had months, I guess, or weeks to practice this and see what it was going to look like. But they finally did it for real, and it just didn't look right. So a lot of people are talking about that on social media, and the Rangers said, hey, if that's the only thing that goes wrong on opening day, we did pretty good. Largest crowd ever for a regular season game to watch this baseball team play in their home Globe Life Field, which will not be busy today. Team is off, and then they'll resume the series Saturday night, and they'll have a big crowd for that. And then Sunday afternoon, on Easter, they'll have a big crowd for that. But a very exciting way to kick off the season last night. It was just great, all the stuff going on. Our former President George Bush was there. Our Governor Abbott was there. So cool first day for the 2024 season.
All right, let's talk about March Madness. We still have a Texas team in the bracket. Is it just Houston? Is that the only local guys we got left?
Now, you've got to be careful on how you say that, because I've learned my lesson. We actually have 3 Texas teams.
Oh.
Because you've got one that's playing tonight here in Dallas, and then you've got the women that are also playing. So I did not mention the Texas Lady Longhorns or the Baylor Lady Bears. And, James, you've been married.
I know. Yeah, women are just as important as men, even when it comes to sports. That's for sure. I got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yes, on the men's side of the bracket, that's it. Houston, I don't know which team shows up tonight against Duke and all the tradition of that program with their basketball, but Coach K is not there, so we'll see. That'll be fun. You've also got Marquette, Shaka Smart, who used to coach at Texas, playing against North Carolina State, and we had North Carolina, a number one. We hadn't had a number one lose in the tournament so far. They went down last night to Alabama. So if your bracket is somehow still intact, you're a genius, because there are upsets every time these teams step on the court. That's going on. Basketball, I mean, it's just a busy time of the year. You asked me yesterday
And I was wondering if you lost a bet to your producer that you're having me on 2 days in a row, but you were mentioning yesterday the Stars and the Mavericks. You got the Stars who won last night in Vancouver, the team they could play in the Western Conference Finals. We'll see, but the Stars have officially punched their ticket to postseason. And then you got the Mavericks playing tonight against Sacramento in Sacramento. They're trying to hang on to sixth place, not go higher in the standings with their season almost over. What am I leaving out? The Renegades and that football taking place at Choctaw Stadium?
Well, the other big team in town, Dallas Cowboys, I haven't liked talking about their news in the free agency era.
Well, then let's keep them out of the news.
Good.
Cycle, then.
All right, so when we talk about the Stars maybe being the first seed out of their conference, I mean, are these guys really one of the top teams that you could expect to be in the finals?
If their goalie gets hot, they could watch out. We could be having. I don't want to jinx the team, so we'll see. By the way, at tonight's game at the American Airlines Center, when the NCAA men's basketball tournament, our own traffic ace Monty Cook will be the PA announcer inside.
Up! Really?
Yes.
How do you get that gig? That's great.
He's the PA announcer at TCU. Coming up in a couple of weeks, he'll be the PA announcer. You've got to go if you haven't been up to Texas Motor Speedway. That's their big NASCAR weekend. That fall race has been moved to the spring, so that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. So, Monty Cook, if you're inside the American Airlines Center, and go, that sounds like the guy on WBAP who does the traffic.
It is. Okay, so I can I point out just something I've observed with the guys who keep up with sports more than me. The temperature goes down when they talk about the possibilities, the potential for the Mavericks. It feels like we're sort of limping into the playoffs at best and would be lucky to get out of the first round.
Well, they're still trying to mesh with this trade they made with the NBA trading line a few weeks ago, and everybody's in sync on the court. That just doesn't happen overnight. So that's a work in progress, and they just don't have a lot of time to make sure it all clicks. As long as Kyrie Irving's on top of his game, and he is, and Luka Doncic, who, to me, if you want to pay to go see an NBA player play, that's the one you want to pay for, because the guy puts on a show every time he steps on the court. If those two are in sync, the Mavs, I would not want to face them if I was one of the teams in the postseason.
Well, look at that. This is a great Steve Lamb, sports director at WBAP. Thanks for being on the James Show 2 days in a row, but it's for a great cause.
Don't call me tomorrow, though.
What? Will do. Yeah, because tomorrow's like Saturday, isn't it? I will not be here tomorrow, so you do not have to worry about that. Coming up next, you are going to get absolutely ruthless movie reviews with the great Debbie Schlussel. Ruthless movie reviews next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now WBAP FM at 93.3. This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Will Height Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willheightwins.com.
Here's automotive expert and nationally syndicated talk show host, Jerry Reynolds.
Ford Truck Month ends soon at the 4 DFW 5-star Ford dealerships, and nobody does Truck Month like Sam Pack. If you've waited on the best time to get that new pickup, now is the time, but Truck Month only comes once a year, and it ends on April 2nd. Get the super low rate of 1.9% APR for a full 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on all 2023 F-150s except Raptor and Trimmer with approved credit through FMCC, and you get a pair of Lucchese boots. SUV lovers 2023 Bronco Sports and Escapes have 0% for 60 plus $1,000, and 2023 Explorer has 1.9 for 60 plus $1,750. It absolutely ends April 2nd, so rush to 5-star Ford in Carrollton, North Richland Hills, Louisville, or Dallas. Sampack.com.
We're taking care of business.
You have pain, and you just live with it. And what you've done is think to yourself, look, whatever treatments are out there, I can't afford it. Whenever I get my money right, whenever I'm in a better place, whenever it's more convenient, I'll do it. I can't miss work. I can't have surgery. I can't be doing drugs. James Parker here. Have you thought about QC Kinetics? Maybe you don't have to hobble around in pain. Maybe there's something that can be done about it right now, because QC Kinetics is a regenerative treatment. You know what that means? I don't either, but I can tell you it means no drugs, no downtime, no surgery. I can also tell you to go online. Look at the reviews that they get. They have 150 clinics nationwide. There's been thousands of people who've gotten help from them. You can go check it out for yourself and then call for the consultation. This is how it happens. You have to call them. They're not going to call you. 972-972-8610. That's 972-972-8610. Go to qckinetics.com or 972-972-8610.
Is it time to upgrade your investment strategy with a real fiduciary using great assets and high cash flow investments? I'm Spencer McGowan, host of NetWorthRadio.com and founder, McGowan Group Wealth Management, a team of 10. Alex Tolene, Chief Operating Officer. Tell us about the process.
We begin with the weekly investment committee Wednesday mornings at 8:30 a.m. to discuss deletions, additions, and what's best for the portfolio. We have 10 dedicated team members working hard to fulfill your plan.
McGowan Group Wealth Management boasts 2 certified private wealth advisors, a certified investment management analyst, dedicated professionals with a sophisticated approach. NetWorthRadio.com. Come in for your office tour. We serve affluent families right from the Crescent in Dallas, and we look forward to upgrading your investment plan. NetWorthRadio.com.
Seeing some slow traffic if you're traveling along I-20. This is going to be on the westbound side, making your way through Fort Worth over near Granbury Road and then over toward the Hewlin Mall. Traffic is starting to get very slow in the area. We mentioned that earlier, slow traffic in Dallas, southbound on 75. Still heavy from the High-5 down to I-30. Haven't found anything blocking a lane just yet. We're watching that. So if you're traveling on 35W southbound between Heritage Trace Parkway and 287, the Decatur cutoff, it's going to be heavy in Fort Worth. And then the northbound side of 75 at Gallatin and Richardson, that is an accident blocking the 2 right lanes. It's heavy back to Spring Valley. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Michael Scott.
This report is sponsored by the Texas Department of Transportation. Texas roads are big enough to share. Drivers, do your part to help make sure everyone arrives home safely. Stay alert, stop for pedestrians at crosswalks, yield when turning, and watch your speed. Be safe, drive smart. A message from TxDOT.
We've got to get help to Ukraine. If it starts as a loan, this is in our national security interest.
Keep connected, DFW.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Joining me now for another edition of absolutely ruthless movie reviews is the great Debbie Schlussel. Debbie is the only person allowed to do movie reviews on the James Show because she's the only person who does them right. You are getting a no Ruth guarantee for the next 2 segments and a lot of movies coming out. Welcome back, Debbie.
Thank you. Good to be back. I have to say that this week is an exception because there is more Ruth than normal.
Okay, well, there will be just the bare minimum amount of Ruth allowed by law. Then can we do that? Because this first movie I'm sort of excited about, Godzilla versus King Kong, but now I'm confused. Didn't we just have one of these come out? Didn't they already reboot this like a year or 2 ago?
Yes, this is the second one to the reboot, and it's called Godzilla versus Kong: The New Empire. And the story wasn't that great, but I did see it in 3D, and the visuals were stunning.
Did you just talk about a Godzilla movie and say the story wasn't that great? It didn't have a riveting, complex headline, didn't have a crazy M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end? That's great. Yeah, they're not renowned for their exposition and their complexity. No, yeah,
they are not, but I would have to say this. I saw it in 3D. The visuals, especially in the second half or maybe the last third, were really stunning and amazing. So if you do go see it, it's rarely a movie that I recommend 3D. It's usually a ripoff to make more money. But in this one, I think it definitely is worth it because it's just very beautiful and stunning.
I have one of my degenerate friends who's really into mushrooms. It's totally into the 3D thing. Totally loves anything 3D. He'll go see it because he gets. I think he gets them legally from like California or something. But that's his jam these days. So according to him, that mixes really well.
This is definitely probably a mushroom kind of epic flick. One thing I would say is that the story is a little absurd in that there are two Godzillas, basically. There's another gorilla, ape, whatever. And then there's also another, King Kong. And then there's another Godzilla that breathes like freezing breath. I would call it Frozilla. And they're both from the middle of the earth. And what happens is the human characters in this movie go to sort of the middle of the earth through this deep, dark forest that has magical properties. A tree eats one of them, and it's this weird tree thing that was kind of cool. And then they rip open this kind of curtainy kind of slime, and then they go deep into the earth, and that's where Frozilla is and this other kind of Kong.
All right. I think Debbie is on mushrooms.
All right. So that's the story on that. Visual stunning story, blah.
Okay. It sounds like it might be worth seeing. What do you give it on the Debbie scale?
I mean, I guess I would give it like half a Reagan only because of the visuals.
I'll take it. Next movie, Sleeping Dogs. What's this one?
So this was the next 4 movies were not screened for, or the next 3 movies and the Kong movie, also the Godzilla Kong movie, were not screened for critics. I went to see this on my own. This is a Russell Crowe movie. He plays this detective that had Alzheimer's and is retired, and this woman from what's called the Clean Slate Project, it's like the Innocence Project, comes to him and says, this guy that you arrested for murder and got convicted, he's about to be put to death in a month. We need your help if there's anything you remember. He's just had surgery on his head with these electrodes to try and stimulate synapses so maybe he can overcome the Alzheimer's. And it's a very good thriller. I enjoyed it. It got kind of messy towards the end, but I enjoyed the ending. You would not see it coming. And I did like this movie. It was decent. It's a good thriller.
Wow, you're right, that we're waiting awfully close to the line of Ruth there. What would you give this on your rating scale?
I would give it 1.5 Reagans.
Okay, so Sleeping Dogs, all right, too. Next movie, In the Land of Saints and Sinners. That's a really long title. Is it any good?
I really liked this. This stars Liam Neeson as this hitman for a local mobster in Donegal County, Ireland. Takes place in the 80s. The IRA terrorists have just blown up a bar, and a pub, and some kids are killed, and they decamp in hiding to Donegal County, and he recognizes them. He wants to get away from the hitman business. He decides to retire, but he encounters them. It was a very good thriller. It's a breathtaking visuals of Ireland. It's on this right on the water and so on. And I really liked it. The one thing I would say is the thick Irish brogue. Sometimes I really could have used subtitles. But it's a good thriller. I enjoyed it. I would give this also 1.5, maybe even 2 Reagans probably, and maybe even 2.5.
Now, does Liam Neeson physically beat people up in this movie?
In 1 or 2 scenes, yes, but mostly he's a hitman, so he just kills them. But yeah,
when kill them, you mean shoot them?
Right.
Okay. Because this has bothered me about Liam Neeson, who all of a sudden at age 60-something decided he's going to be an action star. And so they put him in these movies where he's beating up like 6 24-year-old guys at the same time without a gun. It's just ridiculous and not believable. And now he's in his 70s. And if they're going to try and make me believe that he's running around beating the snot out of people, it's not believable anymore.
I agree with you, absolutely. This one is different from those action movies, though. A couple of things maybe aren't as believable, but, if you hit somebody on the side of the head with the gun, I think that's a lot more powerful than the fist.
Sure.
I don't know for a guy that's his age, but mostly he shoots them. This is different from all the action movies. It all takes place in Ireland. All the actors are Irish, and it's different. I enjoyed it. There's maybe one guy that's from Africa that's in the movie, and that's it.
Yeah, I just remember him being in a whole bunch of like romantic comedies and like Les Miserables and a bunch of nerdy, lame beta stuff until he showed up in Star Wars as Qui-Gon Jinn, and they're like, oh, well, maybe this guy can kick butt in every movie from here on out, which I thought was ridiculous.
But I did like the Taken movie, especially the first one.
Oh, it's so good, though. And then, well, anyway, we're talking with Debbie Schlussel. We're doing Ruthless movie reviews, and we are up to number 4, Asphalt City. Is that the next one, Asphalt City?
Yes.
I don't know this one either.
I actually enjoyed this, but it's very dark and very stressful. It's not a movie you go to just like an escapist movie to enjoy your weekend. It unfortunately co-stars Spicoli, Sean Penn.
Why is that an unfortunately?
Because I just don't like him or his politics. But he is a good actor.
He's a good actor. His politics are dog water, but he picks good movies a lot of times.
He does. He's very good in this movie. So Ty Sheridan is the star of the movie. He was a kid actor. Now he's a successful adult actor. He plays this rookie EMT in New York City, and Sean Penn is the grizzled veteran that he's partnered with. And it shows all the very stressful, thankless things that they do to rescue people and to respond to calls to crazy people on the streets of New York. It's very stressful. Mike Tyson is their boss. That is the weird part. And he's actually decent in this movie. His tattoos are all covered up on his face, and he's decent. You see him in there a few times. I enjoyed the movie. The sex scenes are really weird and a little too graphic for me and unnecessary. But the rest of the movie I thought was interesting and well done. It's not boring at all, but it's a very stressful movie. It's not to see to just relax. It's not relaxed.
Well, I have concern about Sean Penn movies because I know he loves to inject politics and say great things about Hugo Chavez and stuff. But it's kind of hard to screw up and get political in a movie about paramedics, I hope.
You know what? If anything, I think this movie shows that police and paramedics have to risk their lives every day, and they're not safe, and it's not right to basically attack them constantly because they do a great job. And yes, there are a few bad apples, but usually they're the ones risking their lives to help save bad apples.
All right, what do you give Asphalt City in the Debbie Schlussel rating scale?
I would give it a Reagan. I think it's pretty good.
Wow, so that's all 4 of the movies. We reviewed 4. All 4 of them have been watchable. We have one movie left. We'll get to it after the break, and then we'll ask Debbie about the politics and the news of the week going on after that. You're in the middle of Ruthless Movie Reviews with the great Debbie Schlussel on The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
With staff shortages happening across the country, most businesses are trying to get more done with less help. This often results in workplace accidents that can cause injury or even death. If you or a loved one has been injured in a workplace accident, call Thomas J. Henry. We handle serious workplace accidents and get serious results. Call Thomas J. Henry today. Available 24/7, nights and weekends. Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio, Texas.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
When I go out, I take a bottle of each because sometimes I end up talking to people in the restaurants here. Someone looking at them, I say, oh, this isn't a Christmas decoration, this red and green. This is my Balance of Nature. I tell people all the time, I'm happier and I feel better. I love this product. It's done so much for me, it's not even funny. And don't think I'm not talking to everybody that I know about it.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code DALLAS.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Nobody will do you a better foundation repair job than Advanced Foundation Repair. Their estimates are absolutely free. Their work is very affordable. They invite you to give them a call. 214-333-0003. Their work is guaranteed for the lifetime of your house. Do what we did. Call Advanced Foundation Repair. On the web, it's foundationrepairs.com. 214-333-0003. Advanced Foundation Repair.
30% bonus, 10% a year guaranteed, a free car, free vacation. Really? This is Victor McClure, the president of McClure Capital, and for decades, the host of the Common Sense Investing Radio Show. You've heard the commercials making ridiculous claims about annuities. It's not real money. It's just an accounting figure to calculate a life income stream. In the sales game, we call it sell the sizzle, not the steak. Don't get me wrong. Annuities might fit for income planning, but there are other products that actually pay you more monthly income without the crazy bonuses. That's the actual steak. Here's some more steak for you. You can get up to 5.5% interest, 100% guaranteed for as long as 5 to 7 years. That's actual money going into your account every month. You can defer interest and not pay taxes until you actually spend the money, plus they're judgment proof and avoid probate. With $31 trillion in debt, the government can't keep rates high for long. Lock in the best rates we've seen in decades while you still can. 972-715-2424. That's 972-715-2424, or go to ilovemyretirement.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
Maryland's governor updates the economic impact of the Baltimore Bridge collapse. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Well, we had a couple of problems on 75 Central Expressway. One of them just cleared. That was a wreck southbound on 75 at Royal. It is still backed up into Richardson all the way back from Beltline. It's going to take a little while for that to start to unwind. The other problem is going to be in Richardson 75 northbound at Gallatin Parkway. That's a wreck in the 2 right lanes. Traffic gets heavy as you approach Spring Valley, moving up from the High 5. Southbound East Loop 820 at Sun Valley. As you make your way through Fort Worth, look out for a wreck in the 3 left lanes. That's going to slow traffic about 10 to 12 minutes in the area back toward Will Barger. With WBAP First Traffic and Weather on the ones, I'm Michael Scott.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? Who else has 63 acres with massive savings? New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Why go anywhere else? Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Find new roads.
The WBAP forecast, partly cloudy and breezy tonight. The low around 60 degrees. It is 77 in Dallas, 76 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Cleanup efforts are underway at the Port of Baltimore after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Maryland Governor Wes Moore telling reporters about the economic implications of an extended port closure.
At least 8,000 workers on the docks have jobs that have been directly impacted by this collapse. Our economy depends on the Port of Baltimore, and the Port of Baltimore depends on vessel traffic.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which is assisting cleanup efforts, says it's too early to know when cleanup will be done as experts assess the safety of the wreckage. Your Money News, there's a new report out on the economy and inflation. Fox Business's Edward Lawrence has more from the White House.
That PCE inflation report is not moving the needle on inflation. In fact, overall inflation did tick up slightly to 2.5%, but core inflation, it did tick down slightly, but it's basically been moving sideways since December, year over year. When you look in this report, though, at personal income that came in, it did go up slightly, 0.3% month over month, but personal consumption expenditures up 0.8% month over month. This says, in general, people are making a little more money in the past 30 days, but the higher prices are forcing them to pay a lot more than is coming in.
The economy is expected to be a major issue this year for voters. Again, the low tonight around 60. It is 77 in Dallas, 76 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 5 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
I'm not sure where to start on this Good Friday when it comes to the wide world of sports going into the weekend. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. A lot of you talking about that Texas Rangers season opener last night at Globe Life Field where they rallied to beat the Chicago Cubs. Two teams are idle today, continue the series Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Coming up in a few hours at the American Airlines Center, the men's NCAA basketball tournament. The Marquette Golden Eagles on the court against the North Carolina State Wolfpack, followed by the Houston Cougars and Duke Blue Devils. Also on the hardwood, from St. Joseph's, Missouri, you've got the Pioneers from Texas Women's University. They're playing for the NCAA Women's Division II National Championship. And the Dallas Mavericks are playing the Kings again tonight in Sacramento. Dallas remains in 6th place in the West with only 10 games left in the regular season. And a new season begins in a new league Saturday. The UFL, the United Football League, combining the XFL and the USFL, where the Arlington Renegades will host the Birmingham Stallions Saturday at noon at Choctaw Stadium. That's your check on sports. I'm Steve Lamb.
On air, on the app, on the go. Check in 2, 3, 4 times a day. And keep connected, DFW. News Talk 820 WBAP.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Hello, all you beautiful Texans. Welcome back to the James Show. It's the Friday edition, and you're in the middle of ruthless movie reviews with the great Debbie Schlussel. So far, all the movies have looked at least watchable. No guarantee that you're going to love it. But Godzilla versus Kong, the new, what was the Empire of the something or other? It was whatever the latest sequel was. That was good.
The New Empire.
What Empire? The New Empire?
The New Empire.
Yeah, the New Empire, because they're building empires. That's what they're doing. Sleeping Dogs, that one looked good. In the Land of Saints and Sinners, that looked good. Asphalt City, even with Sean Penn, still looked good. The last one, are we going to go for a clean slate here? The last movie is Who Shot the Piano Player? I haven't even heard of this one, Debbie.
I hated this movie, and this is the only
There's the Debbie. Hang on. There's the Debbie we all know and love. Okay. I was getting worried that the little Ruth might sneak into our segment.
This is the one that was screened for critics. So they sent me a screener. It's a little off-putting. It's an animated movie based on a true story of that there was some South American, Brazilian, bossa nova musician who was murdered allegedly by the Brazilian government. And the whole issue here in this movie is that all of these South American governments did bad things to nice people who were just protesting them. And it's all America's fault because America's evil. I hate movies like that. That's number one. Number two, to even get that message out of it, you had to stay awake. And this was very difficult to stay awake through. It was so boring, so long, so slow, so repetitive, so uninteresting. There was really no plot to it. The main character is this author that's writing a book about this true story, alleged true story. And he's first writing a novel about the bossa nova, the jazz musicians from Brazil, who did songs like The Girl from Ipanema. And I liked the music and the animation at first. The thing is, the writer is much younger, but it's voiced by Jeff Goldblum, which is a little off-putting because we know he's not very young. He's in his 70s, I believe. And just the rest of the movie was so boring and hateful of America and so pointless. No plot even. No plot whatsoever. Just stream of consciousness boredom. And you need subtitles because half the time the people are speaking with thick accents. You can't hear what they're saying. A lot of the time they're speaking in Spanish or Portuguese, and you need to read the subtitles. It just was a yucky movie, waste of time forever.
You know, it's funny, the less that you like a movie, the more I enjoy your review of said movie. That's why I love the no Ruth guarantee. All right, let's take the same no Ruth approach, the same ruthless approach that we did to the movies, and apply them to the news of the week. Because one thing that's
By the way, 3 Marxes to that movie, okay?
Oh, right. I didn't even ask for the rating. Let's make it official. 3 Marxes, which is almost the worst rating possible.
By the way, can I say one quick thing about a movie reviewed a couple weeks ago?
Of course.
And that is Arthur the King. And you said, oh, now you're okay about Mark Wahlberg. Well, I forgot to mention, in that movie, one of the main co-stars is this actor, Ali Suleiman, who is this Palestinian that supports Hamas. And I should have mentioned that because I don't like to support people who support Islamic terrorists. So Ali Suleiman was in this movie, Paradise Now, that glorified Hamas. He's a Hamas supporter. No, thank you. All right, now back to what you were saying.
That's funny because there's so much attention being paid to the bridge in Maryland or the P. Diddler on the run. But I am kind of up in arms about what's going on in Israel and Gaza because they keep doing these supply drops in Gaza. And now they're also going to build like a deep water port so they can get more supplies in there. This seems like I know if you had no recollection of history and they did the Men in Black flashing thing in front of your face, maybe you wouldn't understand. But the whole point of a siege is to run them out of supplies so they will surrender and the suffering will stop. If you keep leaking them enough of supplies to stay alive, you're extending the suffering of these people when you do this. The longer the siege goes on, the more suffering there is. So you want this to be over, right? Well, stop sending them supplies and it'll be over.
Amen. And there always should have been no supplies without hostages. If they would have done that, if all the world agreed with that, the hostages would have been freed already. You don't want to enable Hamas either. And now Joe Biden is talking about doing this Palestinian Gaza peacekeeping force, which is the same thing we did in South Lebanon with the UN, which was basically a Hezbollah protection force. And American money, the Defense Department is going to pay for this. We should not pay a dime. We shouldn't be doing any of this until they release the hostages and Hamas is destroyed. Like you said, all it does is prolong the suffering. And listen, these Palestinians are not innocent. They voted Hamas in. They let Hamas stay forever. They didn't rise up against them. And all you have to do is look at the videos of them bringing the hostages into Gaza. All these people were on the streets cheering. Many of them gave their houses as places to hide these hostages. Many of them are still in some of these houses. These people were in on it. It's just a ruse and a fake that they're just innocent people who have nothing to do with this. Beyond that, if you go to my Twitter account, which is @DebbieSchlossel on X or Twitter, you'll see a video I just sent this afternoon, which shows some of the new restaurants in Gaza where they have plenty of food. They have all these stores with food. The media is not showing you this. Then that includes Fox News because they have a narrative, which is that these people are suffering, they're starving. It's not necessarily the case. Many people are not.
Well, this reminds me of the TV show Narcos Mexico, where the cartel caught the undercover DEA agent Kiki Camarena, and they were torturing him, but he was about to die, and so they got a doctor come in to give him some adrenaline so he could be alive and be alert and take more torture. And I feel like that's what we're doing to Gaza right now. You know, they're on the verge of collapse, or if they are on the verge of collapse, as the narrative tells us, and they're starving. Well, cool. Then they're about to surrender, and we'll have an end to this whole thing. Nope. They're just giving them a shot of adrenaline so the suffering can continue. And the people who are acting like they're humanitarians, and I'm some heartless, evil person, you are the ones that are maximizing the human suffering in the situation. So I just find a huge cognitive dissonance in the real world and what I see on the TV.
Amen. And beyond that, listen, in World War II, only 10 to 20% of the Germans supported the Nazis. In Gaza, the majority of the Palestinians voted Hamas in and support Hamas, or did until all of this happened. Now I'm not sure. But probably once this is over, they will support them again. That's how they are. Did we say, oh my gosh, we have to worry about the German people and we need to give food drops and all this? No, we didn't do that. We wanted to win the war and beat the Nazis. And the only way to win the war is exactly what you said. You don't do this. You don't keep reviving these people to do what they're doing.
Right. That's literally the point of a siege. I don't know how many history books the common man has read, but siege warfare, you surround a population and you starve it out until they surrender and come to terms. That's it. And you know what it does? It means that we're not going to go in there with swords or for us, guns and start wrecking shop. This is... I don't know. I think I tried to say my piece. I'm glad you added to it. Thank you very much, Debbie Schlussel, for the movie reviews and your take on the news.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter.
Go find her online, Debbie Schlussel. Debbie Schlussel. She's hilarious on social media. She will ravage a wayward comment. Stick around. Coming up next, we're going to do This Day in History on The James Show. We call it Best Day Ever on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Here's what we're talking about.
The U.S. attorney who's handling this case would not have sought these search warrants unless they felt confident.
The committee has no evidence to justify potential impeachment.
What happened is such a sad event, such a horrible thing.
The U.S. attorney who's handling this case would not have sought these search warrants unless they felt confident.
Stay connected for updates all day.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Ernie Brown here. You know, I'm no expert on home design. I just know I like a good, comfortable, big shower, someplace where I can take my time to wake up and clean up. That's where Statewide Remodeling comes in. Now, why Statewide? Well, after 30 years in business and thousands of satisfied customers, Statewide is now the exclusive North Texas distributor for Kohler Luckstone products, top of the line. And on a bathroom remodel, you want to do it right. Get rid of the moldy grout lines, the broken and faded tiles, the old tub and shower. Let Statewide Remodeling show you some home bath designs that will give you the private retreat you've always wanted. Take advantage now. It's the slow time of year, and to keep the crews busy, you get free installation for a limited time. Plus, just for having Statewide Remodeling come out, the first 25 callers get a $50 Target gift card. North Texas' oldest and best bathroom remodeler is Statewide Remodeling. Give them a call before they get really busy. 214-214-6000. That's 214-214-6000. And schedule that free consultation or go online at statewideremodeling.com.
According to the National Highway Traffic Administration, a car or truck accident occurs every minute of the day. The law office of Bailey & Gallion, the official law firm of the world champion Texas Rangers, has been representing injured clients for over 40 years. We can help you get medical treatment with no upfront cost to you. Accidents happen, but when they do, you have the right to seek full and fair compensation for your losses. You want aggressive and experienced personal injury attorneys from Bailey & Gallion. If you've been injured in an accident, call Bailey & Gallion at 800-LAW-OFFICE, 800-LAW-OFFICE, or thetexasattorney.com. Bailey & Gallion has offices in the DFW Metroplex and offices throughout the state of Texas, and now has offices in Arkansas and New Mexico. We also provide phone and Zoom consultations for your convenience. Again, if you've been injured in an accident, call 800-LAW-OFFICE, 800-LAW-OFFICE, and work with the official law firm of the world champion Texas Rangers. Bailey & Gallion, thetexasattorney.com.
Brought to you by the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Brandy from the Good Feet Store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com.
Accident remains in Richardson at 75 northbound in Gallatin. That has been there about an hour and a half, blocking the 2 white lanes. It's going to have traffic stop and go from Spring Valley. Jump over on Greenville Avenue. Try using that as your alternate. Had a problem on westbound I-20 near Crowley, James, and Fort Worth. An accident that cleared a little bit ago. It's still slow in the area back to about Hemphill Street. And then southbound 75, or rather southbound East Loop 820 at Sun Valley and Fort Worth. That wreck is in the 3 left lanes. That was causing stop and go traffic. About a 15-minute delay back to Will Barger. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Michael Scott.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join the growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Welcome. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Happy Friday. Hope you have a good weekend. If you're a sports fan, you got a lot going on this weekend, but for the rest of us, I don't know what you have. Soccer game, dance recital, piano practice. Got a little bit of all of that coming up this weekend. Oh, you can throw in probably going to play volleyball. And I swear, I promise you, and I swear on my children's eyes, I am going to clean the garage enough this weekend that we can actually use the pool table. Isn't that a noble ambition? These are my big goals for this weekend. But before I get out of here, we're going to do Best Day Ever.
Best Day Ever.
Hey there, welcome to Best Day Ever, this day in history through the prism of me, your host, James Parker. Oh, thank you. I'm here to tell you why today is the best day in the history of ever. Today, March 29th, 1795, Beethoven debuts as a pianist in Vienna at age 24.
Best Day Ever.
It was on this day in 1951. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg are convicted of espionage for their role in passing. I know! They spied on us! They passed atomic secrets to the Russians, the Soviets, during and after World War II. They were later sentenced to death and executed in 1953.
Best Day Ever.
It was on this day, March 29th, 1958. Elvis Presley arrived at Fort Hood, Texas, for basic training. He was stationed there for about 6 months. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of us right now. Or you can't call it Fort Hood anymore. Oh, no, they had to change that. It's like Fort Lavaca or something. I don't know. It's part of that thing where they have to go rename and tear down all the statues of the horrible Democrats in our past who did horrible things. It's
Best Day Ever.
just a coincidence that most of those people are Democrats that they tear down, I'm sure. It was on this day in 1973, 2 months after signing the Vietnam Peace Agreement, the last U.S. combat troops leave South Vietnam as Hanoi frees the remaining American prisoners held in North Vietnam. This means America's direct 8-year intervention in the Vietnam War ended.
Best Day Ever.
It was on this day in 1992. Democratic presidential frontrunner Bill Clinton said, "I didn't inhale and I wouldn't try again." Well, you messed up smoking weed? Is that a thing?
And when I was in England, I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it. And didn't inhale and never tried it again.
Well, if you need some help figuring out, in my apartment building, there's some guys on the first floor. I know they know how to smoke weed. I think, you know, you're not supposed to know if celebrities live in your building, but I think Cheech and Chong live on the first floor over here across the street. It's either Cheech or Chong or maybe Willie Nelson. Who knows?
Best Day Ever.
And finally, it was on this day, March 29th, 1999, like the Prince song. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above the 10,000 mark for the first time.
Best Day Ever.
All right, a couple of audio clips I want to get to before I get out of here. Saved a little time. Is first, I had a question I want to ask my guy friends out there. Girls, you're not allowed to answer this. Just guys. You know, Sean, Eric, Bruce, whoever's paying attention. Have you ever offered to take a guy friend, on a shopping spree And if you were offered, would that be considered weird, fruity, gay?
Then he was like, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we can just hang out. And he was like, why don't we like go shopping? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what this just say?
Yeah, so Fitty relays a story about why he thinks P. Diddy calls him fruity and some other, not real popular adjectives, if that's the way you feel about it. And offering to take him shopping was one of the things that Fitty saw as a red flag on Diddy. I still feel so stupid telling you a story about some guy named Fitty and some guy named Diddy, but it's a real thing. It's not happening in a nursery rhyme. These are grown men. I've never offered any of my guy friends, hey, Michael, let's go shopping. Hey, Sean, after work, you want to go? We'll go pick out some pants together. Maybe we could try some stuff on. You could walk toward me, and then you could turn around and walk back. I can see if it fits good on your butt. See if you look sexy. I'll pick out some tank tops, and I'll tie the bottom up, like right under, like halfway up my torso. I'll just tie it in a knot right there. That'll look real good, huh? Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can paint each other's fingernails and have a movie night and just run around in our robes, giggling, telling stories about boys. Yeah, that is kind of fruity. I've never had that happen. I've never had a guy, hey, James, let's go shopping. I've been around on this planet for almost half of a century, and never has my guy friends, Jeff, just leaned in. Hey, man, we need to go get some clothes. You're right, dude. Clothes it is. Good thinking. The other soundbite I want to try and just shoehorn in here before I got out. Just for a little flash forward into the future, there's about a 50-50 chance this is going to happen to me this weekend with Mrs. Parker. I know this happened in a movie, but this just, sometimes art imitates life. Life imitates art. I don't know which one. But be guaranteed over the next 48 hours or so, this series, this sequence, this will happen in the Parker household.
What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah! I read you.
Hey, you hear that? She's just playing hard to get. She's not just going to give it away. She wants to have a little fun with it. That's basically a yes, isn't it? All right, stick around. Coming up next, Mark Levin, then Chris Crock, and then you're going to go have an awesome weekend. You'll come back here on Monday. You'll start your day with the WBAP Morning Show, and then Casey and Dan Bongino. We'll do this again on Monday. Thank you very much for having a cool week with me. I look forward to spending next week with you. This has been The James Show. I'm James Parker, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey, James Parker here. Of all the things you do to maintain your home, cleaning the gutters is last on the list of things you want to do. Well, it's time to upgrade to a permanent solution with Leaf Filter. Clogged gutters aren't just a nuisance. They can cause extensive problems like flooding and roof damage and rotting siding and foundation issues, all kinds of stuff. So Leaf Filter is your permanent solution to clogged gutters. Their award-winning patent technology keeps out everything but water, and Leaf Filter takes care of everything from start to finish. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will clean out, realign, seal your gutters before installing Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection. Get up to 30% off your entire purchase at leaffilter.com/WBAP. That's a free inspection up to 30% off at leaffilter.com/WBAP. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
New car shopping is exciting, but it's also frustrating when you run into the fees and charges you weren't expecting. Hi, I'm Adam Burwell, General Manager of Novak Motors, and I want to invite you to a totally new way of car shopping. Novak Motors is an off-lease return outlet. We sell gently used, well-maintained, low-mileage, one-owner vehicles that have passed a rigorous multi-point inspection. At Novak, we pride ourselves on the most honest car shopping you'll find in the Metroplex. Every day, we're putting WBAP listeners into their dream vehicles through our customer-focused, seamless car buying process. We hope that you will hear this commercial and be our next great success story.
Ask about the Drive Forever program, which gives you a lifetime warranty on your engine and transmission, and drive your vehicle for 7 days with their worry-free exchange program. Check out Novak Motors' Google reviews. All of their Google reviews are from actual customers. 183 in Bedford, novacmotors.com, or call 817-616-0722. That's 817-616-0722.
Almost every patient that comes to Men's Edge Medical tells them they thought the occasional ED was normal and part of aging, and that it would go away over time. But often it became worse. So they finally made that call to Men's Edge Medical. Here's patient counselor Raul Garza.
Men always say, why did I wait so long to call? Call me, Raul, or any of our other staff members today. We want to help you, and we're open Monday through Saturday. We have been helping